All right, welcome in everybody to Locker Room Sports Talk, show number 259. We're glad y'all could come by and hang out with us. Make me and Big Diamond Dean here a part of your day. We only ask for about 2 hours of your Sunday evening, and we're glad that you choose to spend it with us. High school football regular season has came to an end, and the playoffs and the road to Beeham is here, Dean. We are fired up. We're excited. We got 3 teams in the county. Two's going to be hosting, and we're excited about that. So what's been going on with you today?
Oh, nothing. I was looking at this stuff. I'm sorry. I was looking at this stuff for the playoffs. There's some good matchups week 1.
Yeah.
I've got several here that are – now some of them are not, but a lot of them are.
Yeah, we're interested in
some
some
of
of
8
that.
and 2s playing each other.
I like that. We're fired up about playoffs are here. And first of all, we got to welcome him. We got a special guest come on here and hang out with us, Coach Ragsdale from Spring Garden. The Panthers are 10-0 right now, and Coach Ragsdale in his second year has got them marching all in the right direction. We're proud of the guys for sure, and we'd like to welcome you back to the show. Coach, how are you this evening?
Hey, guys, doing good. Good to be with y'all.
Heck yeah, man. What's your normal Sunday like? I guess with small kids, it's probably pretty busy.
Yeah, well, wake up and get everybody going the same direction to church and get to Sunday school, church, grab some lunch, hit some film, and whatever comes out of us in the afternoon.
Y'all meet at 1.
Yeah, we made it 2. Get right by time, get home from church, get some lunch, and
what you usually about 3 hours, something like that. 2 or 3 hours.
I mean, it varies every week. Depends on how much film we got. Or
have you ever had one of them 10-hour nights? I've heard of coaches doing that.
Oh yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've had one of those. Way that we do things. Really, we come in on Sundays. Most of us have our stuff broke down, and we kind of we all out there and get our practice plan together for the week. But yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, I have been a part of some of those long ones.
Do you bring the players in on Sunday?
No.
Yeah, don't. Okay.
No,
I know some schools do. Most don't.
Yeah, I don't know anybody.
But I've heard of some bringing them in to watch film, and kind of go on and get that out of the way. But I didn't know if you did.
Our schedule at school, we're fortunate to have an athletics block.
Right.
So we got time on Mondays. We get our lift in, and then we'll watch film till 3:00. We'll spend a little over an hour watching film.
Right.
Film heavy day, and then most of the rest of the week we get out on the practice field a little bit earlier.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about some of you coaches. Kind of the same staff, I guess. For the most part, we always like to give coaches opportunity to brag on their help. Tell us about who you got helping you this year.
Oh yeah, yes. I'm very blessed to be a part of a coaching staff that we've been together for a long time. Nucleus of us have been together the entire 15 years that I've been at Spring Garden. But wow. Coach McDonald, I'd try to go in order here, like kind of seniority year wise, I guess. Coach McDonald, he's been there. I think going on 27 years.
Wow.
He's been doing. He helps. He and I do the offense. You got Coach Benefield. Has been there. I don't know, around 16, 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he handles defensive line. Coach Miller does the offensive line. Coach Bowman took over the defense. He calls the defense for us. Played for us. Now it's calling defense. Coach Sears, he's the head junior high coach, and he does O-line, D-line. Coach Wilson, he's been. This is his 8th year helping. He volunteers. Actually coached me in high school.
Yeah.
He's been around with us for about 8 years now, I believe. I'm always nervous I'm going to leave somebody out when I start naming. So
they won't kill you, Coach. They
yeah.
won't kill you.
Coach Austin.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Yep.
Obviously helping y'all some.
Yeah, he's about to finish. He's finishing up with his classes this year, so he's come back, so he knows a thing or two about running routes and.
Yeah, he runs some good ones.
Was he our first?
Second.
He was our second. Luke was our player of the year first year we were on. Second year we were on, Coop was the player of the year.
Yeah. He had about 1,300 yards receiving, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was something ridiculous. 65, 70 catches. I mean.
Yeah. Then basketball season, I got some old videos. I come across old reels on Instagram I put up. Like his junior and senior year, just crazy shots he would make. And he was fun one to watch and cover. We're glad we got to be a part of those around the kids and record some of that for them.
He had a lot of game-winning shots.
Yeah, I captured a few of them. Talking about Coach Bowman, let's talk about the defense for me. I know offense is what everybody likes to talk about, and that's fine. And you're a defensive guy, too. Defensive Coach of the Year. Shout out on that award that you got back a few years ago. What about Tanner? And tell us about him and Simpson, their progress from summer, from you seeing them grow as young guys, in the system, coming through summertime and getting into this part of the year. Talk about those two guys and of course, Jacob, John, but tell us about some of you guys on defense.
Yeah, well, Coach Bowman does a good job with our defense, and it's the same scheme, same stuff that we've been running. That I ran my time doing the defense, and that was one of those things. I brought Coach Bowman. He came in last year, and I still called the defense last year, and I felt really comfortable giving it to him this year. Never worried about it. And he's done a great job with it, getting our kids prepared. Coach Benefield handles the defensive line. Coach Mack and Cooper, and they do the secondary. Coach Sears helps Coach Wilson with the defensive ends. Coach Miller still down there with the D line as well. So everybody's got a job on both sides of the ball.
Yes, sir.
But Tanner, talk about Tanner Ruark. Tanner Ruark is a guy that from game one he has progressed, and I think he played his best defensive game this past Friday against a good Ranburne team.
Yeah,
big up front, biggest line we've seen all year.
They're usually, me and Todd was talking about that. They're back in the day, back in our days in the 90s, they always had a tough football team. He wound up with 9 or 10 tackles he had for the night.
Man, he started off the game and got in the pocket on a buck sweep and chased down a back from the backside defensive tackle spot. And that's kind of how he played the rest of the night. Of course, and Tanner's a guy that at the beginning of the year, he was catching on the defensive line. And he even we went around, we was talking about some progress that we made. He even acknowledged that, and he is not catching anymore. I think that he's playing really good technique football. And then Gray is a guy that he's played at the other tackle. He can play linebacker. He can play defensive end. He is quick on the first step, and also has got pretty good downhill speed. He's been solid. He's been a solid performer for us all year, and always is right there with like 9 or 10 tackles every game.
So he goes by Gray. I was calling him William because when I did the Simpson, we're talking about Simpson, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they had William Simpson on the roster, and I called him William Simpson half the night.
Yeah.
He doesn't go by William at all, right?
He goes by Gray.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what's been, I think a big part of just Spring Garden football. Number one, they're always going to punch all night. They're going to. You're just going to get their best first quarter to fourth quarter, and that's what we hear from other teams that play you guys, and we can definitely agree to that. And I think also guys like these two that we're just talking about, and there's other guys, and you talk about them that. You're talking about him, playing inside or out, like playing linebacker or end. I think at Spring Garden, it's always kind of you have several of those guys that can just kind of play about anywhere up on the line. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that's huge, and especially in 1 or 2A ball, you just have to nearly have that kind of guys that play. But it's the culture of that you've been a part of. You've been there forever, and you continue to do that. It's not just next guy up, but it's keep holding yourself accountable. To not just be a selfish teammate, but to be able to, hey, some-so's out. You got to go here tonight. Oh, crap, I'm not ready. The guys are ready to go. Well, you're a linebacker not. Okay. You know, they're just they're game and they're ready to go out there and just play wherever you put them at. I think that's a huge key to it.
Yeah, that's a hard thing. I mean, we fight it just like anywhere else. But I constantly tell our kids, hey, pride goeth before destruction. I tell them that.
That's the truth.
If you let that pride creep in, or you think you've arrived, or you got to where you think you deserve, or you want to pat yourself on the back, you better pump the brakes.
Head coach, that happens in games. It don't happen over the course of a season. It happens in games now.
Yeah.
Teams will get a little too confident and they'll get come back on.
Hey,
it's
a good problem to have. When you got several guys. There's one football. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's one football, and when you got several people that can carry the football, sometimes guys go, well, why am I not getting the ball? Why am I not getting this? Why am I, And so those are kind of things that can derail a team, when you start getting selfish and
yes, sir.
Let that pride creep in. But
yeah, absolutely.
Well, Coach, I was going to ask about Barber. He asked about the defense. Barber has really come on as a quarterback, and how big and important obviously it's been important, but just how proud of you of him. I mean, he's got 1,300 yards of offense. Stone for 1,000. He's just, that's another weapon besides Welsh and Bates, So tell us a little bit about him.
Obviously we want to run the football first to set up our passing, and that's kind of thing that I think that Noah has gotten extremely better at as the years went on as a strong downhill runner that we can mix in. Of course, he's got a strong arm. He can make the tough throws. He's just a great hard-nosed kid. Yes, sir, no, sir. But he's been a really good leader for this team this year on the offensive side of the ball. And, I know we're talking offense, but defense from his safety spot, he will come up and clean you up.
Yeah, I've seen him make a lot of tackles.
He's probably, I'd say he's one of my hardest workers in the weight room. And if you ever see him in person, you see him in pads. He's a big kid and he works hard.
Is Sadler 100%? Is he back?
Yes, and I think Friday night was the first time that Clayton looked like Clayton on the football field, and he really, since the first play of the Cedar Bluff game, and 5 weeks ago, he's not been 100%.
Right.
Dealing with a high ankle sprain and an Achilles at the same time, so
it's pretty tough.
Yes, it's real tough.
Him, mentally, he wanted to be out there so bad. He's not a kid. He's not one of those that's going to tap out.
No. What do you think it is? And we'll go back from Cooper's to Riley Kurtz. We'll go back to these groups we started over there. What do you think it is that the guys keep leaving behind? As the seniors go on, it's like they leave this little bag, laying there for the team, the juniors, to come up behind them and to kind of hold them accountable. What is it that you've kind of been a part of, and you've helped build that also? You've been there all those years. What's the secret to that? I guess I'm asking that, there's young coaches, that are out there and they watch the show. We got guys from Florida, Tennessee, Texas, South Carolina watching. There may be a young coach out there wondering, around here in the area, maybe, of your success and keeping the guys hungry and keeping them humble at the same time. So kind of what's been your secret on that?
Well, you kind of let the secret out of the bag when you started naming the Rileys and the, the Chazes and the Lukes and I go through, I could name a bunch of kids.
Weston, he was another one that great.
Andrew. I could sit here and name a lot of kids off.
All the way back to Luke Ivy's. We can go back that far.
Number one is just, obviously just the kids, that they deserve all the credit. They'll make a coach look good in a heartbeat. But you gotta, when you have good kids, you gotta keep a standard, and it starts in the weight room and the classroom. But just having a standard and having a good group of seniors every year that work hard and set that example. And I guess the next group up always wants to make sure they carry that torch on and not be the ones to let it down.
Well, Coach, I was going to ask you, I mean, barring upsets by teams, who does it look like, if you were to keep advancing, who would you run into in the later rounds? And I know Wadley would be one of them, of course, but who's some others?
Yeah, they've got a good football team. And, I mean, I really hate to give you the stereotypical answer, but
we know what you're going to say, Coach. It's okay. Right now, this week, by God, we're getting ready to beat Victory Christian. There ain't nobody else on the plate right now.
I just didn't know who maybe stood, would be an adversary.
Well, we can do that as media, but Coach ain't, because the kids are going to be. I could just see, and Noah Connor would be one. Coach, you tell us not to look too far ahead, and here you are out there on Matt and Dean over there and telling them,
Well, let me ask you this, Coach. You're yours as an assistant, as a defensive coordinator. I mean, I'm sure that really prepared you to be a head coach. And tell us about that, working with Howard, and how that was making. I know you were there. Cloudus was the defensive coordinator, and you took over calling the defense from him, right?
No, I went in the office 1 year, and Cloudus coached football for a year. That's
right.
And so I came back. I decided that I wasn't quite ready to be a administrator with like 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I'd coached, and so I just got my administrative degree, and I thought I had the big head, let that pride slip in. And so at some point in that year, I was like, no, I don't think I'm done coaching.
Right.
I didn't want to do the administrator stuff and try to coach, and it was just a lot of time. So I looked up because Howard retired, and he contracted. So I went back to football, and Cloudus came and become the vice principal.
Right.
So I mean, I think I'd called the defense for 13 years for Coach Howard.
13.
It's a long time.
12, 13, whatever that was.
And obviously, that was a great, that helped you to get where you are now, obviously. Tell us about that. You were great. I thought you did a great job as a defensive coordinator and got better every year. But what I'm saying is, I guess, how did that prepare you to be the head coach?
Yeah.
Well, when you're a young buck, and it's easy to think everything.
Yes, sir.
I did. Like most coaches, probably. I thought, man, I'm ready to jump in here and be the greatest coach ever. I mean, want to be a head coach one day, but then, again, it comes back to what I said earlier. You let that pride slip in, and
right.
You can go somewhere and do something prematurely and not be ready for it. And so I'm fortunate that I was able to keep my head on straight. And, hey, I probably could learn a few things from, coaching under Coach Rat with basketball. Before I came to Spring Garden, I was fortunate enough to be under Coach Smith as an assistant at Piedmont in college. So then working for Coach Howard for those years, I mean, there's just so many things that I learned just watching how you handle situations to, beyond X's and O's. I mean, there's a lot more to it than just X's and O's, and just a lot of invaluable lessons that only time can teach you. So that was, I think I spent my time as an assistant the right amount of time before I become a head coach, and I just, like I said, the payoff was huge as far as prior knowledge. Now I don't know if anybody's ever ready for everything.
Right.
So much time.
Well, those guys you learned under, that's big, and they learned under somebody. And, that seemed like that made a big difference, I'm sure.
Yeah, Coach
Austin,
Howard and Coach Smith and Coach Smith. Austin. That's probably three of the best around here. I mean,
three coaches.
Steve Smith's definitely going. I mean, Coach Smith's a Hall of Fame guy.
Yeah, no doubt. There's things from each of those guys that, they probably don't remember things that they said while I was coaching. But has stuck out in my mind that I've carried with me throughout my years coaching.
Yes, sir.
What's the thing now? We always used to ask the kids this a lot. But what's your why? Why? What gets you up and keeps you motivated to keep the guys going? And I know it's just not winning and losing games because, like you just said, there's way more to football than just X's and O's. So what's your why?
Well, of course, number one is like I don't want to let anybody down. I want to make sure I give our kids the best chance to do their best to reach their potential. I don't want to be the reason why we fail. So I always want to make sure that I'm prepared and I'm doing the things I'm supposed to do as a coach. But yeah, it really summed up in this. And I tell coaches this a lot of times when we're talking. Some of my favorite teams have been some of the teams that were the 3-7 and 2-8. And that goes to show and I say that to say this, that goes to show the importance in coaching, man, is a relationship that you build with kids. And I hope somewhere along the way that I've been able to help a kid in a small way, somehow, because I know there was coaches that through my time as a player, I have high respect for, and we we never was successful when I was in high school. I was not fortunate enough to have, state championship, state runner-up, playoff appearances, all this stuff. But still, all the coaches that poured into me as a player and spent their time with me still means a lot to me. And I'm 36 years old. To this day, every day, my high school coach, Coach Bob, he texts me pretty much every Friday morning. And, wish me good luck.
Does he?
Team, and that's a cool text that I get on Friday mornings, and one that I look forward to. So that right there is a big reason why. Just the relationships that you're able to build through doing what we do. Definitely, I'm definitely not pulling up in a Range Rover or anything.
No, I know. Talking about pulling up in something, Coach Miller, he'll pull up with a cow trailer out there or something. You got to watch him. Yeah, we enjoy all the staff out there, and we've known most of them for a long time, and some of them are like Coach Miller, for example. I'm picking on him a little bit. He's kind of the newer guy out there. I really enjoy him, and of course, Coach Benefield, Coach McDonald's he just knows a lot of stuff, and Coach Wilson, man, that he's forgot more than I'll ever know. There's just so much stuff that you got a good staff, and Dax, him coming in, Draven, he's one of you guys. He understands what it takes to be part of a winning culture. He knows it. He's done it. He's been part of it. And, being around him out there and seeing him, coach the guys up, it's kind of weird sometimes because I remember him playing. And it's probably weird for you sometimes when you're like, wait a minute, he's a coach.
Yeah.
And he's done a great job. I mean, we're talking about average, giving up, like, how many was it?
Well, it might have. It was 7 at one time, Coach.
7 or 8 points a game is, what you're giving up on average. And you're scoring averaging about 35. So, you are winning by about an average of about, 4 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
That's instead. I think Friday night our defense gave up 93 yards.
93. I knew y'all hadn't give up many. I don't know about yardage, but now we checked it one week, and I think it was 7 a game. And but now I don't remember. I don't know who you've played since then. I think Galesville scored 12. What did Ramburn score? 7?
Yeah.
7. That was, and we
7.
Let the young guys play.
Yeah, so it's probably, I'd say still around the 7-point average,
Yeah.
which is 1 touchdown a game, which, you don't have to have it, which you've got a great offense,
Yeah.
but you don't have to have a great offense.
And if you don't give them up a touchdown a game, you only need 2 to win.
Yeah.
I think the highest score we've given up this year is 21, and only one of those is on our starters.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think that was to Raglan. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to keep you on all night. We love talking to Coach Ragsdale. You think he's the old tough guy from over at Spring Garden. When you get talking to him, he's deep, man. He's got some good philosophy. And when I go over and watch him practice, I'm not kidding. The stuff he shares with them, you can tell he just kind of like he didn't think about it, and it just comes out right. I mean, it comes out. And he really inspires the young guys. Coach, you're doing a great job over there, and you and your staff. And hats off to y'all for a 10-0 season, and that is it. The
Yes.
other time was
that twice? That's the second time.
was it
Coach?
16? Y'all had a 10-0. 17.
It was
I
one
can't
of
remember.
our years in 2A. Well, we were 10. I call it our 10-0 asterisk season. We
Was
did.
it-
We had a.
Oh, y'all didn't actually play 10 games, right?
No, we
Was it
played
dur-
10. But
Yeah.
Cleveland forfeited.
Oh, okay.
So we, that was a year we were. We were 2A. We actually played Wadley week 10. That was the first year we played Wadley. Yeah.
Mm.
We played them week 10 and beat them week 10, and they ended up playing in the state championship in 1A that year. And we got put out.
And y'all beat them that year?
Yeah, we got
Y'all
put out
beat-
2 and 2A.
Yes.
Okay, that's right. Well, if you went 10-0, you beat them. Yeah. So y'all went to y'all go to the semis,
Mm-hmm.
That
Mars Hill.
That was either the semi year or the quarters.
Mm.
But we met Mars Hill back to back.
Yes.
Semi
Yeah.
year and the quarters second. I think that was a quarterfinal year.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all right.
Oh God, yeah, I know they got
Scottsboro beat them by 1.
a good team this year. Coach Higgins he's done a good job there with them. They got nice facilities and
Man, the year they put us out in the semifinals that year, I think they had I know they had at least 3 D1 guys.
mhm. I know they had 2. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, and 2 of them was on the line, and
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
we stopped and we get it like third and 9 or 3rd and 8 or whatever, and they'd run buck sweep. And Coach Higgins' son, who's went to Troy and played, was a little tailback, and that was probably the best football team you've been on the field with.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, they gained 500 yards in the state championship game. If you gain 500 yards in the
Yeah.
state championship, does he get to play at Troy?
I'm not
I
really
don't
sure.
know. I don't know.
I know that state championship game, the first play of the game, they ran trap out of tee and scored a touchdown.
He made his name's Peyton, right?
Yeah, Peyton Higgins.
Peyton
Peyton
Higgins.
Higgins. Yeah.
Ball player.
Yeah. So we don't want to hold you up, but we wanted to get you on here and let you brag on you guys some, and also we'll do our player of the week while we got Coach on here with us. After going through the stats, the couple of games that we had here in the area, Kane Robinson, again, he had won our player of the week just the week before. He wound up like 120, 130 yards rushing, had a touchdown.
120, yeah.
I was at that game, went over there and got to see the boys play. Sand Rock wins there to keep their playoff hopes alive, finish third. So they'll play Vincent. And
Well, Cedar Bluff lost. But
Yes.
They had 2 guys go over 100,
Yeah.
which was
Hunter,
Jenkins, 151, Hunter Stallings, 115, but he went out of that ball game. Then, of course, Spring Garden, we got y'all's stats. Barber threw for 165.
Yeah.
And Connor rushed for 110. It looked like you had a receiver step up. Baker made 6 catches the other night.
Yeah, JB, Johnny Baker, he had a
JB.
for-
I don't think of him as
isn't it?
when you said Baker. I seen it on the sheet and I'm like, who is? But when you say JB, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Right.
JB, look, if you draw his blood out and put it on a petri dish and put it out on, it's going to have an SG on it. I'm telling you, he is Spring Garden. He is in the weight room. I've been going over there for years, and him hanging around, and I'm proud for him. I'm happy for him, to seeing him get to shine and get out there and make some plays.
Well, that's big, Coach, to have another receiver. Of course, everybody knows who your main target is,
Oh, who's that? Oh, it's that old Welch boy.
but to have somebody else step up.
Yeah, right now.
he's quick. He's a good route runner. He's got really good hands. But yeah, he stepped up in several games for us. Made some big catches throughout the year. I know he had a big 4th down catch against Appalachian that kept us in it early on. So yeah, I was proud of JB Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Watching him grow from me being over there in the summer and you working with them and hearing you, practice with them and then seeing 7-on-7 and then here we are in the regular season. I know you're proud for all you guys and JB because I can see, the growth from that time in the summer. And as the clock goes, you see, that 7-on-7 camp and he's learning and he's getting things going right along. So we're glad that he's it's a good time to get good. I mean, right now we're getting into the trip to Beham, and that's where we're looking forward to go.
Yeah. 6 catches, 158.
football weather, everything except this time change, man. I hate the time change.
No, yeah, it's like
Yeah,
I want to go deer hunting. Like I know my natural clock is like, okay, it's 4:30. I already need to be in the woods because it's fixing to get dark, but I don't deer hunt
I
anymore.
thought
So
they were just doing away with that. I don't understand.
I don't know, man. Rick and Bubba tried to have a petition 10 years ago. The whole originality of it was had to do with farming and tractors and dragging mules out to plow fields. Well, those we got lights on tractors. We need to fix it. Leave it one way or the other.
Man, 'cause my clock tells me it's 10 o'clock. It's time to go to bed.
I know.
You having to sit up till 11 now, aren't you?
Got family down here at my house. It was my dad's 78th birthday, so we're
Happy birthday, Mr. Ragsdale.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, good luck this week. You know we're pulling for you, and we hope y'all go all the way.
Yeah. And our player of the week, we give some stats,
yeah.
and we went through some of the guys around the county. And we try to share everywhere, and we can't give it to nobody twice. And we try to be as fair as we can about it. But sometimes we've literally, because there was at one time, and we joke about this a lot, and I'm not joking. Luke, that first year we were on, he could have won it every week. He just could, and he knew that. But Luke is the kind of kid that, not saying he don't care if he won it, but it's not. He don't get into that kind of stuff. He just wants to mash people's faces and play football. Right. That's just, how Luke. But we could have given him every week. But, we try to be fair and spread it around. So this week, Dean, Big Diamond Player of the Week is
quarterback Noah Barber, 165 yards passing, went over 1,000 and on the year. So a big game for Barber, 14 for 21, 165.
Yeah, congratulations, Noah. He's the guy that you see out there working, and Coach Ragsdale's, bragged on him, and we're proud of him. And we've seen him grow from a young passer to making bad decisions and learning and taking those opportunities to be coachable, and it's working out for him. He's a good kid, and he works at it. And we, as coaches and guys like us, we can see his potential, where he was going. And once they get that confidence in them and get rolling, we're happy for Noah, and we're proud that he could be our player of the week. So we glad you wanted to come on, hang out with us and spend 30, 40 minutes with us. And we enjoy talking to you, and good luck to y'all Friday. Victory Christian. And if we're just guessing, Coach, and this is rat poison, so players, put your fingers in your ears. We kind of look to maybe Spring Garden getting the second round. Do you think Addison's maybe the team they could maybe wind up against?
Play?
Barry.
I don't know. Barry's won some. I believe that's kind of an even match there.
It is. They're 2 and 3 over there in those regions, and we're not going to ask Coach to pick games. We're not going to put him on the spot.
Well, Addison's got that football history.
I know.
I believe that could go either way.
Yeah, Spring Garden has met Addison. We covered that game over there. We all
they played that. Y'all played Addison
2 years ago.
I didn't know they played Addison.
Was it Addison or Aliceville?
No, it was Aliceville.
Aliceville, my bad, bro.
That was the one with all the athletes.
God almighty, man. Their linebackers look like they're lying. God, when we went on the field and warm up, Coach Howard was coming by, and I said, "Good Lord, Coach, who did y'all get come over here?" And he was like, "I don't know." I said, "My darn." All right, Coach, we won't hold you up. So again, congratulations, Spring Garden Panthers QB 1, Noah Barber, our last player of the week. Kind of sum up our regular season, and we'll have a thing out, and we'll have a player of the year, and we'll get them a little trophy and stuff, and we'll go through all that voting, and we'll look stuff around, and all the players of the week will be in consideration for that. So thank you, Coach, for your time. And
hey, thanks for having me. Enjoy.
Yeah, good luck this week.
Yeah, man. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate y'all. See you.
All right. Go Garden, go.
Matt, yes, sir. Before we go to the playoff picture, this was the season leaders, regular season. All right. I got passing, Alec Ashley, 1,006. Noah Barber, 1,004.
Wow.
Top 2. Rushing, Alex Beatty, of course, with 1,828 after that 500-yard performance. And this is kind of funny. A lady come on there. Somebody had posted that he did that. And a lady come on there and said, well, who was they playing? The kindergarten team? And I talked to her, and she's like, I didn't mean that insulting. I've never heard of anybody gaining that kind of yardage.
Yeah, no, we know her. And anybody that don't know, and I've seen people comment on there, first of all, don't be rude to comment on stuff, and I know even if it's if you know him or whatever, and
Mhm.
she's being sarcastic
Yeah.
because I know her very well from church, and trust me, she didn't mean anything
Anything.
resulting by that at all.
And she knows her football too. And she's like, I've never heard a stat like that.
So actually, it was kind of
It was kind of a compliment.
it's a compliment. So guys, don't freak out and be rude to people. She's not being rude. She's just really surprised
Yeah. I mean,
that the kid rushed for 535 yards.
you don't wake up many mornings and see
No.
where somebody's rushed for 5.
No, absolutely not.
So that absolutely
Where's Alex is at?
18-28. I
Okay.
wished he'd have got
I
that
know.
10th game.
He could have at least got 200 or 300. I mean, I don't know Lochapoka from Piggly Wiggly Meat Department.
No,
I hate using that cliche. I don't know. He may have rushed. They may have shut him down. I don't know.
I wouldn't think so.
But I don't. I mean, I would like to see him get played another game. If he could have got 250,
Yeah, maybe 2,100.
he'd finish the year with. I like to see him finish the year with 2,000.
So he won the county regular season rushing title, and I'll just be honest with you, he's way ahead, and he'll have a good chance to hold that title. But
Yeah.
Connor Bates is second with 1153, and that's his second over 1,100 yard season in his career.
Yeah, Connor can do it, man. He can get down.
Tay Diamond 1,074,
Hard runner.
Kane Robinson 920. He's got a chance to go over
Look at
that.
Kane go.
Receiving, Frampton led the county
Not
700
surprising.
yards.
He can fly. If
Yeah.
he catches when, I'm not going to say it, but when he gets it, I was going to say
He's gone.
when he catches it, but I don't want to jinx him. And some coaches are superstitious, 'cause,
Yeah.
but I just don't. I ain't seen nobody run him down. I mean, I've seen some guys from Anniston, and trust me, they got speed.
Yeah, no,
If
he can fly.
Especially he hits it in stride. He's
He's run back about 3 kickoffs in his career, at least 2
Yeah.
I know of.
He's a 4-4 solid 4-4 guy.
John Welsh 550.
And John too. He runs like a deer.
Yeah, he does.
He's just so
He's long legs.
yeah, athletic, and he moves and bends and looks like it's not.
He's not afraid to get hit.
Well, no, absolutely not. He's a Welsh. Them boys ain't scared of that. But
That helps.
how he moves on the field, it looks like to me. I'm watching. I'm going. It looks like like anybody could. He makes it look easy.
Right.
You know, when you
He
see
does.
like Devlin run, those runners, just in general, when you see kids run like Jacob,
Yeah.
like you're just thinking, well, gosh, I mean, it ain't fancy or it ain't, it's just, but, and then, when you don't see him run, you go, wow, man, that he is special.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I won't mention, sorry about that, somebody, Hunter Jenkins ended up with about 800 yards. Tackling wise, I don't know interceptions. I don't know sacks. I think Tay had about 14. So he probably led in sacks. John Welsh.
I think he has a school record at center. I think I'd heard Coach Kelly say something about that.
Tackles
for loss.
Tackles for loss. I know he's got about 90, maybe
crazy.
100.
I know it's crazy.
But through the regular season, that would be Tristan Brown with about 115.
Yeah, and we assume rat poison warning. We assume they're going to make a good trip through the playoffs. So and
so.
he's going to get 10 a game.
Yeah,
I'm just sorry. No
I'll be
offense.
shocked if he don't end up with 160. And he's going to have a career there where he has, he had 137 one year, 158 one year. He's going to finish with close to 500, maybe over.
Yeah,
but that's your leaders. Interceptions, I don't know. I think John Welsh maybe had 3.
Yeah, and guys, that's your season's done. Gainesville, Cedar Bluff, seniors, we love you guys. And gosh, we've been covering y'all since you were freshmen. It's been a pleasure to be around you. And I know probably most of you, that last class that I got to coach or be a part of was Bucky's class, and they graduated last year. So some of this class, like, from Alex to Jenkins and all these in the Chambers,
good career
center at Cedar Bluff, and those guys, and some of the linemen, and
Logan Hampton, and
of course Hunter, man. I mean, Hunter, we throw him on the baseball team with us when Hagan played. Him and Marcus all played together. So it's been our pleasure to cover you guys, and we've enjoyed it. It's been fun, and hope we got to capture some moments for mom and grandma and
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Make memories that you can go back, and YouTube videos there forever. You can go back and watch your games from now.
Yeah, that's good. That's the good thing about that. We got guys running around here that have no idea where their game film is.
Well, you can find them
But
YouTube.
you can now.
Yeah,
There's no excuse anymore. You just don't want to watch it if you don't watch it now.
There's film. I got stuff was just talking about Coop at Spring Garden. I got him with a tip back game winning shot. You know, I just run across the other day from like 2021.
Really?
Yeah, I just happened to run across just stuff like that. So y'all subscribe to the channel, and if you're watching this on Facebook, hit the thumbs up. We really would much love you and appreciate it. Okay, hang on. Yeah, we're fixing to look at some go through some playoffs here, and I'll hang on there, Andrew. Yeah, we're glad Coach Ragsdale could come on and hang out with us. I could talk to him for. I just some people's easy to talk to.
Yeah, he is.
And he's just think the old tough rugged thing he's got going. Old defensive coach, he's. But stuff I hear him talk about with the kids, it's great. Keeping them motivated, and just keeping them believing in each other.
Yes,
and still the old school stuff that he's still got. He's a younger guy, but he's got an old school kind of. Coach Ragsdale does kind of has an old school way to him about the stuff you hear him talking about, like not putting pride first,
right?
Making the main thing, and that's being accountable.
It's true. I mean, it's just true. I mean, you can't be arrogant. You better be dang good if you are.
Yeah, and it's just best if you're.
And
I'm trying to send this link to. Oh, for God's sake! Sorry, Andrew. I'm trying.
Peyton Higgins has 26 catches this year for the
Oh my God! I just did it again. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
This thing is jumping me around. Andrew's wanting to jump on here with us and talk some playoffs and Powerhouse Sports. Okay, there you go.
I'm reading about Peyton. Yeah, he's got 43 career catches for Troy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we was talking about Coach Higgins up at Mars Hill.
He had 2,500 yards and 29 touchdowns.
There's a video out there of him being on Price is Right too, people. You can look it up.
Oh, Coach Higgins?
Mm-hmm.
Price
he went out
is
there.
Right.
He went to the Showcase Showdown.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what? I know this has nothing to do with anything, but just because we were talking about it, Higgins had 100 touchdowns and 8,945 all-purpose yards in high school. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Shout out again, Mr. Ragsdale, Barrett's dad, birthday. I've met him a time or two at the games. Talked to him a little bit. So happy birthday to him. Let's see. He'll be jumping on here in a minute. Say Juju had over 3,000 yards passing this year.
In 10 games?
And close to 35 touchdowns and 5 picks. 3,000, yeah.
I believe it. But that just sounds ridiculous.
Well, we're watching him right now, actually. I think he threw for 400 against Douglas County. I think he had like 390 or something crazy.
Juju.
Yeah. All right.
Well, they have them on Max Preps, but it won't pull up.
Let's look at. Let's see here. Let's do 1A first. We're waiting on Andrew's going. I guess I sent him a link. Let's see if he may not. Yeah, I did send it.
I know Carrollton. One more thing about Carrollton, then we can. They're number 6 in the country. So that helps. But it doesn't. I don't know. I can't find this. I know. I believe Jeff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it don't have his stats on here like they usually do.
Okay. All right, Dean. Let's look at 1A up here.
My them won't go to anything anyway.
Again, up here in we'll start down here at the bottom of the bracket, and you can find these on PrepsNet. And you go on their websites, and they got brackets out there. And for the most part, I think for the most part, it's all kind of squished out, pretty much. I guess for the most part, looks like Raglan is going to go to Winterboro, and then Pickens County will go to Hackleburg. You know,
Winterboro's had a good year.
I know. I think they got a good shot at, and Pickens County to be at Hackleburg.
I like the matchup. They're very close to each other,
Yeah.
Raglan and Winterboro. But well, I don't know. No, they're not real. No, they're not far away from each other. But I like what'd you say, Hackleburg, Pickens County?
Yeah.
That'd be a good game.
Yeah, and still, you know, I know even when Pickens County, they finished 4th over there in that Region 5. Don't count them out.
No, you can't.
Just don't forget, man, the gatekeepers, I don't care. I know they didn't win it last year. Coosa beat them over here at Coosa, you know, but it's just Pickens County, man.
Yeah, and I do think Winterboro will advance. I think Raglan has come on and had a decent year, but I still think Winterboro advances. And we can pick these guys that we don't know.
Yeah, Winterboro and Hackleburg, we think they'll probably make a good shot at Donahoe. You know, getting a win against Cedar Bluff, but they're going to be playing Appalachian, a hungry team that's finished second over there in that Region 8. I think they'll probably be favoring that. And then Lynn also for that Region 5. They finished first. Look for Lynn and Appalachian to lock up. So this bottom bracket here,
Appalachian's tough.
We'll look at Lynn playing Appalachian and Pickens or Hackleburg playing Winterboro.
Right.
And Hackleburg and Winterboro, you got a 1 versus a 2. Let me see if Andrew, there he is.
I think Hackleburg. Now, like you said, you got to watch Pickens, though. You just got to watch them.
Come on in here, son. Take your
They're
shoes
athletic and they can beat you. Heck, wasn't they like 10-4 last year?
Andrew, you there?
What's up?
Go ahead, son. Come on in, take your shoes off.
Shoot, my shoes been off for a long time today.
We're talking about some 1A stuff here, kind of just running through these and, getting a medley idea. And if people want to find out who we're talking to here, you can look on the screen there. Powerhouse Sports. You can find them. Let me put your thing up there on the bottom. On Facebook, they have a huge following down there. Maybe one day, Dean, we'll get to be as popular as them.
Maybe.
What you got on your mind, son? Go ahead.
Now, I heard y'all talking about some northern teams, and I'm trying to do my best to learn about some of them because we're doing our playoff coverage starting tomorrow on our side. And I wanted to make sure, and I thought about some of these northern teams. I don't like a dang fool, and I was talking about people being good and them not should be as good as I think they are.
Well, we really don't know a lot about the Northwest teams.
Some of them we do know a little bit. Like we're looking at this down here in this bottom 2, 4, 6, 8 teams. Winterboro's been playing really good, and they are 2 over there in that region. But I like them. Hackleburg's a 1 over there in Region 7. But Pickens County is Pickens County, and even though they're north, they're still kind of in the middle. And everybody knows who Pickens County is. I think Hackleburg is that region. They've won enough games to definitely be number 1, but Pickens County to me is kind of like 5. You just don't know.
Well, and it's just the truth. You go with Meek, you go with Hackleburg, you go with Hubbartville. They're tough, hard-nosed teams, but what they lack is speed. They don't have a lot of speed. Lynn, none of those teams have speed. Pickens County has speed.
Yeah, that's usually what puts them over the edge. So we like Winterboro. They may line up and play Pickens County that second round. Appalachian is they've been on a good roll this year, and we've seen them go, even in their bad moments, they still wind up finding a way to win the game. I think that'll be a good win for Appalachian over Donahoe. Lynn, dude, those guys have played so much football. Lynn is a dominant. They're always in the playoffs.
Always good.
They're always a second round team just about every year. So we'd like Appalachian to play Lynn going into that second bracket. Now, when you get Lynn and Appalachian and Pickens County and a Wintersboro, I just need to see somebody beat Pickens County. And I know people are going to say, well, they're 4-year this year. Just Matt, they ain't won as many games or, whatever. And they lost a few guys from last year. I know. But, I'm just going to have to see it.
Yeah, they got a good squad.
And up there in that top 8, Coach Hammond, Dean knows him very well.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy. We love talking to him. And Valley Head, they're going to travel to Wadley. Guys, you're talking about playing against the Wilkes. Him, Andrew. He's down that way towards y'all, and you get a lot of news on him. This guy's rushed for thousands and thousands of yards, started as an 8th grader. That's just near the end. And now they got another tailback, too. I think he's 0, and he's good, too. And he don't probably get a lot of talk.
Just Wilkes.
No, yeah. And they're fast. So that speed for Wadley and Valley Head, try to keep up with them is going to be an incredibly tough task, but the game is played on the field.
Right.
And Coach Hammond does a good job over there. So,
And now Wadley is number 1, right? Are they number 1 in the
yes.
state? Okay.
And Meek in Hubertville.
That'd be a good game.
Yeah. That's kind of nearly, but to me, when you get those 2 and 3s crossing from Region 7 and 5, because the Region 5 is the number 1 in Region 5 was Lynn.
Right.
So, the region's not easy.
No.
So if you come over there and finish 3 in that Region 5, Andrew, you're probably not a bad team. You may have lost one game, and that one game made you 3 from 2 is probably a loss to Lynn.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that could be a good game. Now this one here in the middle there, Victory Christian will be up here at Spring Garden. Spring Garden is winning by average of about 30 a game. We just had Coach Ragsdale on, and he's the defensive guy. He was 2A Defense Coach of the Year. And I don't see them letting off the gas any. Noah was our player of the week this week, so I feel like Spring Garden's got a great shot at that one. And then Addison and Berry.
I have no idea. That's even match
to
me.
Yeah. That would be a kind of a toss-up. So it looks like Spring Garden could probably roll out here and probably wind up, Andrew, with a Wadley on the 22nd in a quarterfinal game.
So I want to ask you this. Obviously, being down here, we posted on our page and people went up in an uproar about it. But what exactly did Coosa Christian do this year? I know because so I coached at a private school. I ain't gonna name the school because I might get in trouble for saying it. But we have some assistant coaches that would train kids from other schools, and once they left the 8th grade or 6th grade, they would come play for our middle school team the next year. So I never knew that was illegal. I gave hitting lessons when I was at that school, and then the next year they'd leave from another school to come to where we were at. And then I saw Coosa Christian do it, and they got in trouble. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, people start, telling on this certain school, they're probably going to end up getting in trouble. I know it's baseball, not football. It might be as big of a deal, but I don't know if that was against the rules.
Yeah, I don't know. I read through some notes and stuff that I've had sent to me, or news stuff. I think I sent you a news thing that had covered the situation, and a player not being turned in is this, and the training that he received wasn't that, or gosh, man, I'm just the old snuff dipping media guy up here in Cherokee County. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to make an educated guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
No, I don't really either, Andrew.
We just hope the same thing, and I know it's the same rinse and repeat answer, but it's just my heart. And my heart is I just hope the best turns out for the kids involved. And I know I hate it when adults make situations hard by their decisions that affects kids. And I hate that. And that's why we do what we do, from being youth director to coaching around here in the county, traveled all over the state with kids and playing baseball. And I just want the best for whatever it is. And sometimes it's not maybe what you want. But, sometimes things don't turn out how you want them to be. And we just have to rock and roll and, just roll your pants up and just keep marching on. And, it's not fair. And sometimes things ain't what you think they're supposed to be. But I don't know enough about all of it to
I can tell you one thing, Andrew, and it's nothing about that, but I don't blame them. Anybody would appeal, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't think they're going to change anything. They've got the playoffs set now. As far as this year,
Yeah.
Now they may let them back in next year. But,
Yeah, I don't.
They're not going to come back and tell another team they got to sit at home now.
Yeah, I don't know how it's all gonna. It's a big mess, and I hate it for the kids involved in it. But 2A, Andrew, 2A up here north part. We'll start at the top up there if you're looking at a bracket.
Some good games in
That
2A.
that Southeastern's going to host Red Bay. Red Bay, we played them.
Well, they've got a bad record.
I don't. Yeah, I know.
2-8. They 2-8.
I don't. Yeah, they had won just a few games, and this is what we know. We went up there and played them. Marcus's junior year. We went up there and played
pretty
them.
good. Then.
And if you don't know where it is, Andrew, this place and South listeners, Red Bay, you can literally probably walk out in their parking lot and throw a baseball hard as you can westernly towards the west, and you'll throw it over the Mississippi line.
Right, that close.
Yes, I mean
Good
it's.
God.
I heard the same thing about Jackson. This
It is.
weekend.
There's like you can see like this casino down the road. It's kind of off in the distance, but it's close. We drove and drove and drove, and they had a great team that year. They went to the quarterfinals, I think. That year.
They were pretty sporty that year.
But this Southeastern team, I've seen them play in person. They throw the ball always well. They always got their left and right tackles. They always have big guys at tackle position, and they're winning over there in that Region 6. And that Region 6, consists of Cold Springs and also Susan Moore and also Faultville. So I think Southeastern has got probably as good a shot as any. And
I think so.
Pleasant Valley, Dean, tell them about Coach Nix. This is first time ever.
Best team they've had in maybe ever.
Yeah.
They've only been a school since 84.
Yeah.
83 or 84. But it's one of them. Now, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't ever remember Pleasant Valley going 8-2. But they got Sulligent, who's known for their football.
Well, that's where Rashad Johnson, you remember him, he played at Bama. Mm-hmm. That's where he's from.
They can play now. And they do have something that a lot of teams in the West don't have. They've got speed.
Yeah.
Sulligent's put Fife out before. They've gone and played for it before. They've had guys start North Alabama. That's a good matchup.
Yeah.
Sulligent.
And this too, here's what you got to remember. That Sulligent area, Andrew, that Region 5, that Region 5, you know who number one is? What's Tuscaloosa Academy?
Right.
And I seen them play live in person against Coosa last week, and they can play football. They are big up front. The quarterback can slinging them all. So this Region 5 is going to have speed. So that'll be a tough task. Now, Winston County, we don't see a lot of that Region 8 up there, but we follow along with their record. And I've been really impressed with them last year. I remember them just going
they've had some good teams.
Week by week. They've had good seasons. So look for them probably to move on. So probably get a Sulligent at Winston County second round, and probably Sulligent and Southeastern, and then a Winston County.
I'd like to see Pleasant Valley win, but I'm telling you now, Sulligent can play some ball.
And so our local team here, Coach Heath, they finished third by their win over the other night over Whitesburg. Great game. Man, what a game that was. It's up on the page if you want to watch some highlights of that game.
We got to go play Vincent.
But you see who's in there. We'll see what region Vincent's from. They're from Region 5. Mm-hmm. And that's a fast region. They play fast football. Does Sand Rock have a shot? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the game's played on the grass.
Yeah.
Now, are they, make that bus drive up there and they go up there and whip their tails and play hard all night? You don't know, what may happen. Now, as far as the bottom 8, North Sand, Travel, Tuscaloosa Academy, I've seen these guys play. They're good. They're really good up front.
They actually played Coosa better than anyone besides Pierce County.
Yes, which is, and you know about Pierce County.
Yeah, 2A champions in
Georgia. Susan Moore, Decatur Heritage. Decatur's always got athletes. In that region, you got Lexington in that region 8. You got Winston County, which is 1 over there in that region. So being 2 in that region, I think Decatur Heritage probably gets Tuscaloosa Academy second round, Andrew, for that next to last bracket. And then definitely Aliceville is good. I've seen their athletes. I've seen them play live in person. They usually just got some dadgum dogs. They got
Yeah.
some horses.
Yeah, they're 5-5 this year, though.
Yeah.
Now who do they play?
Pisgah. They got Pisgah.
Pisgah's had a good year. Pisgah did get beat the other night, but they lost to Sylvania.
Yes, and they're and Coach Pruitt wants to
Sylvania's
win.
very good.
He wants to win all their games, and
Yeah.
he's brother of Coach Jeremy Pruitt, which Andrew, he's from Alabama and coached at Tennessee.
Yeah.
So his lineage at Pisgah, I didn't know if you already knew that or not. It's good.
Yeah.
Lexington.
Tuscaloosa Academy, they just played Bayside Friday night, who is in a tough 3A Region 1 with T.R. Miller, Hillcrest Evergreen, and all those guys.
Yeah,
And
tough region.
Tuscaloosa Academy beat them 14-13 Friday. And
Are you serious?
Bayside was a 2 seed in that region.
Wow.
I look for Tuscaloosa Academy to go pretty deep.
Yeah, Pisgah and probably Faultville, we feel like will probably be around 2. It looks like a Pisgah and a Tuscaloosa Academy will meet up in a semi. We're kind of assuming.
And I think that might very well happen.
And it could be a Southeastern may line up with Winston County in the semi up there in that top part. Then we'll go to 3.
There's some good matchups in 3A.
3
now.
is probably, man, there's a lot of great matchups. in
really
3A.
good matchups in 3A.
Starting at the bottom down there, Coach Smith, Michael, over at Geraldine, the Purple Bulldogs. They're going to have to travel Locust Fort, and I'll just be straight with you. And
Good game.
no offense against anybody at Locust Fort. Their guy went down, and bless his heart, Dino broke his darn leg. I mean, just had a bad accident. I think Geraldine's got a good chance.
Oh, definitely.
I think they got a
100%.
really good chance.
If I was setting lines, I would favor Geraldine. And now Locust Fork has hung in there and played well.
Yep.
Since Embry went out.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, we're not stupid. He made a huge difference.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, the coach would tell you that. Now,
Yeah.
I kind of may say Geraldine gets Marseille in that second round, and then Marseille probably wind up catching a
Marshall's going to be a tough.
Winfield or
Wow.
Sylvania. Okay, so that one box above Winfield probably move on. Sylvania probably move. Darn man, Weaver's played good.
Weaver is, I can say this with 110%. Wait just a second here. Okay. Weaver's the best 4-6 team in the state.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close.
They've played above their heads.
I hope that don't offend nobody. Somebody's like, are you trying to say they're better? Yes, they are.
Just and shout out to Coach at Weaver for guys. Y'all just have to know what they've been through. I mean, like 2 or 3 years ago, they was playing like a bunch of 7th graders. Their whole team, and to be here in the playoffs, congratulations to Weaver but they get Coach Nelson and Coach Little. They'll have to go to Sylvania. That's a tall order.
And they'll be ready for that. But
So-
don't let that record fool you. They're not a 4-6.
Well, they don't
football team.
quit. These kids at Weaver will fight with you all night long, and Coach Nelson, Coach Little know that. So
I wonder if they had somebody out.
they'll be expecting that.
Yeah.
So Sylvania and Winfield may be your second round team. Now, as far as this top box up here, Rogers has had a good season, and we've kept up with them. And I think they've lost a game or two that they felt like they probably shouldn't have lost. So I'm going to have to see what their fight is to go in there, to go to Gordo and try to win that one. But we kind of assume Gordo's probably going to get 5. Okay, we'll just go ahead and count. And 5 is one of those teams too. I just don't never bet against Coach Benefield. I just don't.
I think that'll be a great matchup if that happens. Gordo and 5. Wow.
Yeah, I could easily see Gordo and they'll play each other that second round.
Oh my gosh.
Now Piedmont, Collinsville, Coach Willingham, lots of love, lots of respect to Coach Ernie and Teddy. Old school guys from that area, been over there forever, good mentors of good young men. I just want to brag on them for just a minute because they're fixed to go play undefeated Piedmont, 10-0. Coach Miller's he's flipped this thing upside down. And last year, Piedmont had some injuries early in the year that put them behind the 8 ball. But by cracky, they figured it out.
Got two of the best receivers in the state.
Yes, and I can't even get no stats. I wish they would turn. Somebody, please.
Well,
If y'all
now,
are on from Piedmont, Andrew done clipped off.
Andrew's gone.
He must have lost his link.
Oh,
So that's going to be a tall order, Andrew. If you're trying to get back on, let me know. I'll send you another link. If you want to come back on, his phone may have died.
I cannot believe Fife and Gordo would match up in the second round. Wow. Whew. That'll be a matchup.
That'll be a.
And sometimes your best games are early.
But Piedmont probably maybe catch a Lauderdale County. I mean, I'm just picking the two because they're just higher than
That'll be a tough one.
Vinemont. I don't know about Vinemont. Somebody may be on here right now saying, "You're fools. Who's watching this show? Don't you know they're going to kill Lauderdale County?" And I would just say, "Sir, I apologize. You're right. I don't.
They're not.
I
can say that with confidence.
I don't know.
It's not going to beat.
I ain't
They
never
may
seen
beat them.
I ain't never seen them play."
No, I don't know much about Vinemont.
So Piedmont and Fife, Dean could hook up in a quarterfinal. How about that?
So you got to go through Gordo, then Fife, then Thomasville or T.R. Miller. That's ridiculous.
And it looks like, I don't know this, and somebody, Coach Short, if you're on here, it looks like it could be at Piedmont. Well, let's see. They're going to be home, and then I don't know if they're going to flip it in the quarterfinal. So Piedmont may have to go. But they're going to be home and home. How do you get two number ones? And somebody's got to go away.
I don't know. I don't understand.
They'll have to flip it.
I hated years when your best. And that happens a lot of times. You'll have a state championship matchup in round 2.
Well, it happened.
And third round's easy.
It happened with the same game that we were at 2 years ago.
Which one was?
Piedmont 5.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people felt like, well, we just watched state championship game.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people felt that way.
Well, Cedar Bluff, the year they went to the championship.
I take these off. I keep taking more.
Huge matchup.
Andrew, if you want to come back on, if you're still watching, bro, you let me know. If I need to send you another link, you're welcome to hang out with us.
Huge matchup with Wadley in the third round. That was their tougher game. Then they played Decatur Heritage in the fourth. So sometimes it matches up like that. That 3A, I'm telling you, whoever wins that 3A has earned it.
Well, yeah, this 3A North, everybody knows.
And the South,
Even
my gosh.
Andrew will tell you that 3A, they've won it so many times. 3A North has won it a lot. They've,
Yeah,
it just is what it is. So those are some 3A matchups. It's a very as far as all together, meeting in the semis, Piedmont or Fife or Mars Hill or Winfield or Locust Fort.
Hey,
or Sylvania.
Let me tell you something. This is a year where you're proud if you won the North.
Oh my God.
Or the South. Hey, we're South champions. Y'all win the state? No, but we won the South.
We won the North, so we're pretty good.
Yeah.
In the South, we get Andrew.
And you're probably wore out by the time you get to the state.
Montgomery Academy. Me and him talked about them the other day. He just talked about Hillcrest Evergreen.
Yes,
Dean's been keeping up with Glenwood School.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about them.
And then you got Bayside Academy.
I don't think they'll factor in. T.R. Miller handled them pretty good.
You got T.R. Miller. Randolph County plays Trinity.
Trinity's tough.
And then your favorite team, Dean, Thomasville.
Well, they average and win about 50, 40, 45,
So,
50.
Thomasville would have to beat Randolph County, T.R. Miller, Bayside, Glenwood, or Montgomery Academy. One of those. So good luck with.
I tell you what, that
and then that
Glenwood's good.
And then that team gets to go play the winner of, I don't know, Piedmont, Fife, Sylvania, Mars Hill, Locust Fort. Or something.
Mars Hill. I mean, it's Gordo. I'm telling you.
I don't know why.
3A, just separate them and let them just play each other in about a round robin.
It's been that way for a long time. If y'all watch high school football around here and y'all can comment in the section and if y'all want to argue about it, I'll argue with you about it. 3A football in this state is crazy competitive.
Oh my gosh.
North and South. It's like it's very even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You made the third round in 3A, you're a stud.
I mean,
That's
if you make a semi, in the South or North.
Oh, I had a guy tell me he was glad they were out of 3A.
If you
They
make
moved up.
like if you make a semi play, well, you lost by a touchdown in the semis in 3A.
Yeah.
You probably had a good football team. Don't hang your head, is what we're saying. If you go to semis and lose, if Piedmont lost to Mars Hill 20-27, I'm not leaving that field going, gosh,
We
ridiculous.
blew it. We didn't get the most out of it.
No,
No.
I'll tell you right now, it's I'm just made a scenario.
It
there.
may be more competitive than the college football playoff.
All right, we'll
And
look
it's
at
definitely the most competitive of the 7 to
So-
me.
to me it is too. I just think it is. All right, we'll look at 4A here. we'll jump out here and we'll talk about some college stuff.
There.
Some games for next week, and we'll talk about South Carolina and Auburn blowing it again. I'm gonna get on their butts again. I'm so sick of Auburn. I don't know I know what the problem is, but nobody wants to hear it. Auburn fans, they don't want to hear the truth. They just think that you hate their team because you. Now, if I wore an Auburn shirt, what I would say, they'd be like, "Heck yeah, Matt, you tell them." But I don't. I got on a Mobley Concrete and Construction shirt.
Yeah.
But anyway,
We're all stopped up.
Madison Academy, Golden Hoax Bluff. Me and Andrew talked about this the other day, and I think
I think Coach Bluff's got a good squad.
Coach Rob's coached a lot of football games. Coach Sexton's works the defense, and I think they have as good a chance as anybody. And I like West Morgan and that matchup with them with Fayette County on that bottom one there. And yeah, his phone died. That when you try to play StreamYard on your phone, this app
Eat it
ain't
up.
bad.
Really?
Bad.
Like you'll be at 60% and then 20%.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want Coach Ragsdale to be on because it'll just kill your phone. 20 minutes, his phone probably went from 80 to 50.
Really? Wow.
It eats the phone because it's a streaming thing and it's
Yeah,
really working.
yeah.
So second round here on the bottom, guys. If you're looking long, you go to PrepsNet or something. Our AHSA has some brackets you can look at. Y'all are looking along there with us. And podcast listeners, you can look at those on your phone, or some people print these off, and there are some printable ones that you can go print off. I think Hoax Bluff and West Morgan match up in a second round.
And I just can't figure out Westmore. I told him. He didn't say it. I told a Hoax Bluff coach and I'm friends with yesterday. I said, there's no way they can be as good as last year.
Obviously they are.
Not losing 17 or 8. He said he heard they lost 18.
Well, I was on the field. They said 22.
Really?
I'm telling you, I'm standing on the field, and they said, thank you to the 22 seniors of this class for being the most winning class we've had here in history.
And then they got 10-0 again.
They won something in the 70s. I remember doing some study, which I'm going to do this weekend as we get the playoffs here, because this first round, it's going to be kind of what it is first round. So second round, I'm going to do some more digging this week. Like last year, I found out a lot about some of their players. So I'm going to find out more.
I think that'll be a good matchup with Hoax
Yeah.
Bluff.
I mean,
Westbrook,
22
if that
seniors,
happens.
22 seniors, and you're. What was that I sent you that other day? It had some kind of graph on it. What was it? It was something crazy.
About West Morgan?
Yeah, it was some graph that they had.
Oh, no. Let me see. I've got
Here it is. Rebels are 10-0.
Oh, yeah, 10-0. Back to
back. Yeah. What?
Look at this.
Yeah, scores 31-9, 42-10, 29-7, 48-0, 42-12, 69-6, 61-14, 52-26, 55-7, and then
Who's that they beat 35-34?
I have to look on Max
Let me
Preps.
go look on that right quick because
Probably is that
you can go by that.
that D is they went
that
2
Dora?
overtimes.
I
don't think so. I think it was Danville. Played them close.
I honestly don't know. I did not see their.
Uh,
Obviously, they'll see.
This other box here, if y'all are looking along with us there, Aniston's going to play Randolph, and Aniston's fast. They have
Dashler about one.
Dashler. Dashler's pretty good.
Dashler's pretty good.
They're going. Let's see here. Aniston Randolph. I like that matchup, guys. Y'all follow along there and check along some of these on PrepsNet. Hatton and Good Hope. Good Hope's played. They've had a good season, man.
They have had a very good season. I've been surprised at that. I mean, not that I'm surprised. I just wasn't expecting it.
So I wouldn't be. I'm just telling you, I wouldn't be shocked if Good Hope and Anniston play round 2.
No. And Anniston has who?
Randolph.
Randolph. I think Anniston can win that.
They're just fast.
Yeah.
If you get that, they get all together, moving in the right direction. They're big up front. They're strong up front. Well, we've seen them play Cherokee County this year.
And something I figured out about teams, and I'm going to throw Hoax Bluff and Anniston out there. I've seen them play, and they didn't gain a lot of yards, didn't score a lot, but they were playing Cherokee County. So you just absolutely can't go by.
Oh, I mean, give up the starters have give up besides the Piedmont game, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. And including the Piedmont game, they give up about 75 yards rushing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
This defense has even been better this year. Brooks and so Good Hope and Anniston could play in that second box there. Top 8, Dora and Brooks. We told you Dora.
I like Brooks now.
West Morgan just beat them by 1 in 2 overtimes.
Beat
Was it Dora?
Deshler.
It was Dexter. Okay, my bad.
I mean, I said Dora,
But
I was wrong. It was Deshler.
2. That's a 2 and 3. Regions 5 and 7 matching up over there. Yeah, Dean's got some snotty.
I cut it off.
Yeah, blow it out. Blow
I
that crap
got it.
out of there. Alexandria plays North Jackson.
I like that game. And I wouldn't be surprised if Alexandria won that. But North Jackson's kind of come back and
They have. They're
good year.
yeah, they're one in that Region 8. Number 1 Region 8 over there. So probably North Jackson and Brooks could easily play.
I like Brooks. I really do. Because I've just read, what they had back, which was very good. Quarterback and running back.
And Hamilton and Central Florence. I heard Coach Kelly talking about Central Florence and what a good coach team they were. And he watched them. Maybe he caught them in an NFHS or something, and he bragged about them, how good they were. So, Cherokee County, they beat Westminster last time they played. They won. Let's see, what was it? I wrote it down. It was 50 to something last year. Let's see. Where did I write it down at? That's JSU. There it is. 4A. Hooks Bluff, Cherokee County. Yeah, last year it was 54 to 7. They beat Westminster. That was the score last year. They beat them
54 to 7.
Yeah, it was something like, I think it was a 52. Anyway, it wasn't.
It was bad.
It wasn't real close. So Central Florence, Cherokee County. Looks like Central Florence, by our guesstimate, probably if Central Florence wins, they will travel to Cherokee County.
I wouldn't be wanting to travel to Cherokee County. I'll just be honest with you.
I'll go out there and take on old Tristan.
I mean, if I played at Cedartown or Rockmart, maybe, but not anybody else around here. I mean,
So I'm just kind of tooling through that and looking through quarterfinals. It wouldn't surprise me if North Jackson and Cherokee County hook up in a quarterfinal.
I think that'd be a good
You think
matchup.
you like that guess?
I like the guess. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Alexandria upset North Jackson, though. But it's at North Jackson.
Yes, and they're one in that region. And Coach Ginn is, his dad, what they've done
They've
out
done a good
there.
year this
I
year.
mean,
Went
kidding
1
me?
and 9 to 7 and 3.
That's amazing. That's got to be a Coach of the Year. I mean, a turnaround
Somebody told
like
me
Weaver. I mean, it's just like
that's a 60% improvement. 60%, people.
and you just don't. That just don't happen from people say, "Oh, you just get good players." That don't that's amount don't has happened from play. That's
I mean,
coaching.
it's a combination of things,
It's
but
coaching.
he's definitely a part of it.
it's coaching and culture of what him and his dad has built at Alexandria.
Yes.
Guys, that you go up there and Low Scales field, that
And that could be.
it's a traditional place to play. Ask Coach, if God rest Coach Johnson's soul. Ask his son Mark about
Right.
Alexandria. It's historically they're a good football team.
That may be, and I don't know, that may be the best turnaround in state.
Well, the Weaver program, how they've just
No, I'm just talking about from last year.
yeah. No, Weaver. I mean,
Weaver went 0-10.
that's great.
Yeah,
I
I think.
We're giving praise to these coaches for holding your team and holding the school together, and
Yeah.
the principals of the school, they're a big part of that, and parents for believing in your coaches, because there's a lot of that now that don't believe in their coaches. And that's where it starts. It's in the stands, it's in the weight room, the communities. We just talked to Coach Ragsdale. It's community, weight room, parents believing. That's what it is. So but see, Cherokee County North Jackson played. Remember game 1. Kind of had that
Yes.
early game. And Coach Kelly bragged on, said they got a good squad. They give us a lot of trouble in some areas, things that we could good looks for us to work on things. It wouldn't surprise me if they play quarterfinal. And
No, it wouldn't be.
this bottom 8 here, West Morgan and Good Hope probably. There'd probably be teams to come out up here in this bottom 8.
You think Coach Bluff's got a good chance to go a little ways? I mean, they've got
That West
County.
Morgan team, man, they're just mashing everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be at home. I know.
I don't think it matter.
Yeah,
Home or away
They're
for
just
a
good,
team
yeah.
that's they're winning by huge amounts of points,
right.
and they just went last year. This squad is very experienced,
Yes.
and I'm not saying that Hopes Bluff couldn't win it, because absolutely they could.
Yeah.
But it would be a tough time. And Coach Rob would be the first one. If he was sitting right here, he would say, well, yeah, I mean, first thing he's going to say is, well, I'm not worried about that. We got Madison Academy first, because he's old school, and I'm not worried
Yeah,
about
well,
that.
I understand that. You can't look ahead because you get beat.
Yeah.
You do.
But does he think, would it be a tall task? Him or Coach Sexton would agree, well, yeah, that'd be a tall task to go play West Morgan, the team that played in the quarterfinals last year and took Cherokee County.
They're 22-1.
Played them a good game last year.
Oh, and lost. They're 22-1 with a 1-point loss.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
Last year. So
1-point loss.
maybe a West Morgan and a Good Hope probably. I think that's probably good. And Anniston may fill around there and may knock Randolph out. I don't know. Their speed.
I definitely think they could.
Their speed is just killer.
And,
Anniston's fast, and speed kills, man. I've watched teams play, and they're just faster. I mean, they might not even have a few better players. The other team may have a few better players, but the speed, man, just in small,
and
1 through 3, or even some 4A schools, speed it matters.
And let me give you some advice. If you're a coach, I'm like, they'll be like, what do you mean giving us?
What have you won? Well, he is a state champion. Okay, he's got a state championship ring. Slow your roll now. Calm down.
Don't go scout your opponent when they play center, because they're going to look like trash.
No, I know. Yeah.
I
They
mean,
didn't look real good. Who'd they play? Cherokee County. Well, gosh,
they're not going to look good.
they give up like.
And I come back to
points.
find out, boy, these teams are good. Anniston's done well.
Yeah.
They didn't even score up here.
And me and Andrew run through 4A South the other day when I come on them.
Yes, sir.
They like this
Of
is,
course, Jackson. Right?
and I'm not going to speak for them.
Jackson
They like Jackson and Pleasant Grove. Those are really good teams here. Mobile Christians is having a good year. Heard Amos, the guy that was on there with them, I think he was talking about them. Hanley, Coach Strange, man, he's been there in a lot of these games. Hanley's going. I look for Hanley and Pleasant Grove probably play that second round. What a game that would be.
Hanley and who?
Pleasant Grove.
Oh my gosh!
And if anybody could do it, man, old Coach Strange.
Don't count Hanley out.
He's just done. He's kind of like Coach Rob of the.
Let me tell you something.
They just have been doing
Coach
this so
Street's
long.
a tough guy.
Yeah, and he coaches tough. His players are tough. They're hard to beat. We just watched him play Jacksonville last year, and they're hard to play, man. He's done it so much. Like he could probably just watch film. Like younger coaches, like in there studying and rewinding and watching. He just watches like the first plays. Like, okay, I got a plan. You're like, how'd you get a plan? Well, I've been doing this for 30 years. I mean, he's done it.
I can't. Yeah, he's just a tough guy.
He's going to figure out how to get the best out of the team to match up against the opponent. Bibb County, I heard them talking about them the other day. They said they're having a good year.
Squad.
Said they're having a good year right now.
Yes, Bibb is.
And Tallahassee finished 1 over there in Region 3. That's got to be worth something because
and they beat, and I think Tallahassee upset Hanley.
that region, yeah, they're in the region with Hanley, Bullitt County, and Hanley, Bullitt County, and somebody else. Tallahassee, Hanley, Bullitt County, and well, there's got to be another one. There's got to be a Region 3 number 4. Who's Region 3 number 4? Region 3 1. There he is, Bullitt County.
Bullock.
Who's Region 3 number 3? There's not one. How can there not be one? There's got to be a 3-3 because 3-3 would play. 3-3 would play 2-2, right?
Yes.
Well, they don't have it. 3-2, and St. James is in that region too, in that region 3.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
That's the one that beat Piedmont in the state championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had some receivers like just snagging on everybody. So
Yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of that. And let's hit the peanut gallery and see what's going on over here. Lance McCullough, what are you doing, you big old rascal wood puller? You
Lance.
you never wear Auburn. No, I would never wear Auburn shirt. I just can't. But if
I don't wear a shirt for anybody else.
But if I did wear Auburn shirts, what I'm going to tell you here in about 3 minutes, it would be okay. I know I've watched them play closely. I've watched them play 3 games this year closely. Mark Bailey, what's going on there? 22 seniors in a high school team. Yes, Cherokee County's got 18 this year.
Auburn just can't score. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, but there's a reason why they can't score. Went to Auburn game Saturday. Got a copy of their 85-man roster. They only have 21 seniors on a college squad. Yeah. Well, Auburn Mark has not. I know what you're saying there. Yeah, it is surprising, but Cherokee County's got 18. Is it 18 seniors this year?
18. Yeah.
Okay, and it ain't nothing for. Go look up Vestavia Hills or Hoover. They'll have 30 seniors.
Right.
They have more, but they dress as many players as Auburn does. But Auburn's been in disarray, the college, for so long. Harsin did not recruit. Gus quit recruiting his last year.
I'm going to say one thing about Gus. So they come out and pretty much say, you're on the hot seat. We're fixing to get rid of you. And then you go beat Arizona 56-12.
Well, Arizona's not real good.
They're not that bad, though.
No.
56-12?
What's up, Kahuna?
All right. We'll talk about that.
Kevin Moore, what's happening, Ben? I could see Lauderdale County playing Piedmont. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Lauderdale and Piedmont.
Yeah. Logan says he's glad that Todd took a bye week from the show after Tennessee beat Bama's butt all up and down the field.
Did I take that bye week that week?
Yeah, he was hurt. On a different note, how much do y'all think Vandy will get per acre now that they own the entire state of Alabama? Well, they had to beat JSU, and I would put my JSU Gamecocks, my school. Alabama don't pay me any money, neither does JSU, but I'll take Jacksonville State.
Over Vandy?
I will.
Hey,
I'm telling you,
Logan. Seriously,
they're good.
All
They're
joking aside,
they're top 5 offense in the nation.
Yeah,
and they beat the team that had like the number 1 offense in the nation. They just beat Liberty.
Yeah,
run them off the field pretty much.
But speaking of that, then Logan's a big Tennessee fan. That's going to be a matchup, Tennessee and Vandy, for the first time in a long time. That's going to be a good.
Yeah, game. I don't know if Tennessee can get out of that one. They're too anemic in their first half offense. It's just terrible. Nico just goes out there. He's stoned
up last night. Though.
Yeah, in the second half, he's stoned. They can't score.
Yeah.
First quarter, they're not scoring a touchdown.
Oh, I know. Logan even put something about that.
It's just I don't know if I don't want to accuse kids of doing illegal things, but something's wrong.
They're just not scoring in the first quarter.
No, I like all year.
Oh, I know. It's been bad. They played a terrible half against Alabama.
Collins, Piedmont? We'll go through some of these. San Roque at Vincent, they're 8-2. They lost to Tuscaloosa Academy, Dean, 35-21, and Greene County 25-32. Those are the 2 losses from Vincent.
Yeah, Yeah, to 35-21 to Tuscaloosa Academy.
Yeah, and then they played with Greene County, played close with them. They've never played before. Sandrock has never played this team. Points for and against for Vincent is 282 to 171. That's 2A. 1A Valley Head be at Wadley. And that's going to be a tough matchup, Coach Hammond.
Yeah.
Gardner's going to host Victory Christian, which is 5-4 on the year. They were 4-0 all time against Victory Christian. They beat them last year, Dean. Big victory, 41-7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 3A. Told you Combs was going to be at Piedmont.
Yeah.
Coach Miller's got the team rocking and rolling, and Coach Ernie has they got a team of athletes now.
They do. Still young.
Yeah, if they can go over there and move the ball, it's going to take 28 to beat Piedmont.
I would think.
I'm just guessing.
No, they're not going to score less than 20.
No.
They're not going to score less than 26.
But they got a limit ish in Pinto and that's just everybody's tried it, but I mean nobody's been able
to put all 11, 5 of you here, 6 here, then you got the middle wide open.
It's just everybody. I mean, a lot of teams have tried, and it's been hard to do.
Yeah. 100 kids between them.
And 4A, Westminster at Cherokee County. Westminster had a win over 50-6 last year was the score. 50-6, that was the score. I was looking for it last, and it's right here in front of my face. Points for and against 299 for, and points against for Westminster's 261. Anniston at Randolph. We talked about that. I think Anniston's speed gives them always gives them a chance. When Anniston's that type of team, they show up on, I don't know. They got a chance to win. I mean, I was sitting here and watching them play Cherokee County. And Cherokee County's got one of the best defenses, around here in the area. Real stingy defense. And man, it's when the play breaks down. It's like we got a plan for the play, but when they get after the quarterback, he runs out of the pocket.
Yeah.
Well, the corners can't cover the receivers, for 5, 6, 7 seconds. You can't. And then Madison Academy, we've talked about that game. We think they're at Hoax Bluff. I think Coach Rob and them's got a great shot. I think they do. I really think that they're going to go to the second round and play West Morgan.
Yeah.
I really think so. So that's round one news for teams right here in the area. And we'll probably be one of us probably be at Cherokee County. One may be over at Spring Garden. So see kind of how these games turn out. And good luck to Sandrock on their travels westerly across the state. And shout out to all the seniors on the night. Win or lose, we've enjoyed it. And we're glad we got to cover you all these years. So, and last before we get off and hit the college game day button, let's give a shout out to Jerry Mobley Concrete Construction, wearing his shirt right now. 903-343-8581. Find them on Facebook. Give free estimates. I shared some jobs that he done over there probably last week one day. Good people, good prices, free estimates. Got to give him a shout out. Cherokee Eye Clinic, always for making this possible for us to keep this thing rolling, to be able to buy shirts, to be able to buy ink, to be able to buy paper, to make shirts, the things that we do to get us gas to go to games and stuff.
Yes.
Shout out to them for always helping along with that. 927-4030, JR and April McKenzie, CherokeeEyeClinic.net. Get your eye appointment today and go see them. And we very much appreciative for them. So we'll take a 20-second break and get up here and go part my hair down the middle, Dean.
All right.
I'm going to part my hair right down the middle. See how this college football, some fans of Georgia and fans of Auburn. If you're a Georgia or Auburn fan, you can go ahead and tune off. I'm sorry you don't have the thick skin to take criticism about your team, because I do sports media, and it's what I'm really supposed to do is critique your team. And I don't think you played very well, and I'm just going to tell you about it. So hang on, and we'll be right back, okay? Okay, let's start over.
Oh, just came back to.
Okay. All right, welcome in, everybody. Thank you for hanging by and hanging out with us for the college portion of the show. We do appreciate it. Show number 259. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to break down some college football. We got about 3 or 4 games to talk about. South Carolinas, the Floridas, the Auburns, and the Georgias. And we're going to get into that. And also, I got to mention Pitt.
Yeah, 4 people texted me. Thank y'all for texting us.
Yeah.
I just didn't look at them.
Tennessee, Houston, and K-State. K-State's absolute mess. And then we're going to talk about Pitt getting smoked by the Running Ponies. JSU beats Liberty, and Pitt and Iowa State undefeated no more. So we'll look at the AP poll too. So Dean,
I started out with saying I
For
was
the-
shocked by South Carolina.
yeah, shockers for the weekend. South Carolina game.
But I mean, look at these stats. Sellers 244 pass, 100 rush. Rocket Sanders 144 rush, 92 pass. They had 530 yards, Matt. But you said you picked them, and you picked them because of their D line.
Well,
right?
number 3 Fortune and number 5 the Kennard guy. These
Yeah.
guys are good, and putting it together and seeing them play Alabama. Proctor, 90 grade NFL first round guy.
He's going first round, right?
These guys, Bama line had, and Pritchett did a lot. Pritchett's not really good. He's had a lot of trouble. The right side of Alabama line's had a lot of trouble anyway.
Yeah.
So they got after them.
Right.
And then saying how LSU played A&M, and LSU lost that game because they kept taking the darn run guy. They had 2 guys crashing. They looked as goofy and confused like Bama did against Vandy.
What I
Why
told
is 2 guys chasing the pitch guy?
Wow. Well, me and Matt talked about it.
It's silly.
If y'all lip read it, y'all knew. There's no way that Kelly and the defensive coordinator didn't know how to handle that. There was just some miscommunication.
Look, it's not complicated. It's just not. And I know
And
Freeze, he's trying to run it with Thorne at Auburn, and it's not very successful. But
Let me tell you something, and I'll move on. And it's probably because we ran the option with Bullen, but I didn't never play on the defense that had any trouble with anybody running the option. Might have trouble tackling the guy, but as far as who takes who, no.
it's caused some trouble. And obviously I knew that SC was good enough up front. Sellers, throw for 244 yards. Reed was 18 for 28. He threw for over 200, had a touchdown
He's a good player.
and a pick, but he graded out at a 58%.
Ooh.
And that's just because of these 2 guys, 3 and 5. They cause trouble, man. Their DNs in South Carolina, they're good.
Yeah.
We watched Bama play them, and it was a close game. We're like, Bama's just not really good. Well, but what you're finding out
South
is
Carolina's
later,
good.
we're finding out later down the road when I tell you this, and we're telling y'all that, yes, Bama's not I don't think they're a championship team, but we didn't pick them to be a championship team in June.
They don't suck.
No, but they're not going to win it. We picked Ohio State to win it this year, or Oregon.
I don't think they look good. Or everybody's just good. I don't think Alabama or Ohio.
I just think everybody's not real good. I don't think everybody's good. I think everybody's mid.
You don't think nobody's bad.
They're just very average.
Just very.
Well, you can tell. Look at the NFL. I mean, you got this AR5, Richardson. Takes himself out of the game. I mean, he was like 8 for 30 or something one day. Absolutely crap.
They're going with
the
Flacco
Colts.
now.
Yeah. You took yourself out of the game? I've never heard of that. Who's ever heard of
He
that?
took himself out.
Yeah, I'm tired. In the interview, he said, I just got tired. You imagine what Coach Bullen would have said if Tim Grace would have said, I'm just tired.
He probably turned on him. He loved him, but he would have probably turned on him.
He would have stroked out right on the field. He'd have lost it.
It didn't take long for
But Tim would never
Tim to
said
be his
that.
favorite player.
No, he was good, and Tim would
First time we did a
Tim
Oklahoma
would've-
drill, and he drove somebody back. I think it was me. 7 yards. Yeah, he
but
was.
Tim would have never said I quit.
No.
I mean, but anyway, that problem with that game was SC's just pretty good up front, like we said, and we also said that Vandy was pretty good. So the game I looked at, that was I'm not surprised because I'm not picking Auburn anymore. I picked them to beat. What was the last game I picked them to win?
They're in trouble right now.
I picked them to
I think
beat
you
somebody.
picked them to beat Kentucky, didn't you? I think you did.
Maybe I did. I'm just kind
If
of.
Kentucky played like they did yesterday, they probably wouldn't have lost.
I'm tired of picking them. I'm tired of picking Auburn, and I'm just.
Auburn's close to being in trouble.
I sound like a fan when I talk about Auburn,
Uh-huh.
and what's aggravating to me, and I've said it a few times. I can't figure out. I think now more because I watched them closely. I like knowing stuff, and I hate not knowing.
Right.
I like what I do in doing this.
Yeah.
I do take it serious. I know we joke some, but I can't figure it out. But I do know more this week. So 17-7, Auburn kind of
Outgained them by 100.
ruled them by the roost by yards and time possessions. But it's the failure of the season for Freeze. Defensive senior safety Jermaine Thompson, freshman linebacker Riddick had 5 tackles, and senior defensive lineman Mausa had 8 tackles. Now, offensively, Cam, their golden child, had 1 catch for 9 yards, and Lambert Smith had 1 touchdown for
He's their
Fairweather.
best player.
Simmons had 3 catches for 39 yards. Hunter ran the ball for 50.
12 carries. The week after he gained 278. Now, you can always and Thorne threw it 29 times. He didn't throw a pick. 12 carries. I don't understand. And maybe they've been like, well, we couldn't gain no yards against Vanderbilt. There wasn't no need to run the ball, but they had 88 rushing. 350 against Kentucky.
Did you watch the Auburn Vandy game? Did you get to watch it?
Yeah, what some of it, yes.
Well, here's the
Well,
problem.
they missed 2 field goals for one.
And they shouldn't never kicked one of them.
Well, one of them, yeah.
That's no
52 yarder. 52 yarder is a boot.
No, it's 4th and 4, you clown.
It's a boot.
Let me go back to the 2 series right before the half. This is when I knew they were done. 2:01 on the clock.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. 2:01. I don't listen. I'm serious, and I don't want to bash nobody. And this
You're
is
not real impressed with Freeze.
I've never liked him. Never, ever. Oh, he won at Ole Miss. That was 15 years ago. Stupid. Why are you talking about? He beat Saban twice,
He did.
but he lost to Vanderbilt now 3 times. That's in the past. That's a long time ago. That's a different team with different coaches at Ole Miss.
So you think he's the problem?
It's the staff. There's no development at Auburn. They're not developing these kids. 2:01 left on the clock. I think he's drinking. He's got to be drunk. Why you call timeout with 2:01? You're not paying attention to the game, to anything that's going on, about how the rules have changed or nothing, obviously.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was sitting there going, what's he talking about? 2:01. 2-minute warning was 1 second away.
God dang it, those little things, man. Secondly,
He tried a 52-yard field goal on 4th
on
and 4.
4th and 4, go for it.
It wasn't even close.
You're close in this game. Your offense has been completely anemic the whole first half. It's getting close to and then they wound up getting the ball back again. And they freaking they couldn't even do nothing with the ball. He runs a wide receiver pass play that gets sniffed out and loses them 10 yards and then makes it like a 3rd and long or something. What are we doing? Run the ball.
Well, I mean,
Hand the stupid thing off. Either Quiz is hurt and they're not saying it, or what I think has happened. Now, they run Spooty off, Antonio, played down here.
Yes.
They let him go. Said he missed practices or whatever, and I've heard things from personal family things he's got going on or something. I don't know if Quiz, and I wish I could have him on here, and I wish he would be able to tell what's really going on.
right.
I think it's just the wheels are falling off the bus. You cannot tell me it's fine, everything's good down here, nothing to look at. I just don't believe that. I just don't. I don't care how many fans get on here from Auburn. Y'all come on here and cuss and
They gotta win.
and that crazy.
They got went out to go to a bowl.
I don't. There's no way the fans are not happy. I can't see that the players to be happy in the locker room, just smiling. Hey man, it's good. We're all good. We've got 1 conference win. We're worse. We're worse this year than we was last year.
Right.
We won games at Arkansas and stuff out on the road. We won at Cal. We get 5 games at home. I thought, man, they'll probably be 4-1. They didn't. All they could beat was A&M and like New Mexico's.
Well, here's the problem.
I think Quiz is mad
You've got Thorne playing decent, and they're still not winning.
because, and I'll tell you, that's my second point. And this Quiz is, I think he's PO'd, and I think he's said something, and they're like, "Well, you go where then?" I'm not.
Yeah.
I think he's got in trouble for speaking out. That's my opinion. I don't know
Right,
that.
you don't know, but you think that's possible because he went from 23 to 12 carries.
Dude, something's wrong. He's not on the injured reserve list. I didn't see him walking with a limp. I didn't see him with a knee brace on or his ankle spatted up. I think he's PO'd and he's getting in Freeze's ear and just pretty much giving him down the road. And Freeze just like, well, I'll show him. Well, you just lost the game. Now,
Let me see.
why you're saying that? Okay, they didn't turn the ball over. I mean, Thorne's he's not turned the ball over.
He's not turning it over.
So they're still losing these other games. So why? All right, here's why. When you go watch the game, stop it and watch it. They run a read play off left tackle. There's two plays I'm going to talk about. They run this read play off. This is same package, two different plays, and they both go off left.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, it's a read across, and he hands it going across.
Right.
And when I always watch the line, and you're watching your guards pull down. The guard pulls down the line to go down. He misses the block. And then guess what? Guys, if you keep up with it pretty closely, you do know your receivers have to block.
Mm-hmm.
I think
they do in college.
I think a huge part of Mark Ingram's success was because Julio Jones
I
blocked.
heard he was great.
They said he was a great run blocker. Cam missed a lot of
29 pass play. I mean, they ran it 29, passed it. 29.
Cam missed some passing. And go back and watch it. No, I mean, he missed some run blocks, Dean.
Well,
At one time, the guy just, I don't know. I don't know. He just looked across. He's a freshman. He's young. But at some point, we got to stop using that as an excuse that he's just young and he's got to figure it out and give him time. And so who do you blame that on? Are you going to just blame it on their age, inexperience? At some point, you got to go to the coach and go, are you showing him what to do? I mean, I know he knows how to run block, but maybe not for your plays.
right, exactly.
I don't think, because I have evidence of it, because what I just talked about earlier about Auburn not having – they ain't had a first-round draft pick in 4 years, period. They ain't had a defensive first-round pick since 2007 or 8.
I know they don't have a lot of guys starting on pro teams right now.
Guys, so what's wrong?
Tank.
Dude, look, they're not developing their players. And that's on the staff. So I got to look at Freeze because he's the one that hired these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people saying you can go watch Locked On Auburn and watch Zach. He does a good job covering his team. They're thinking too. I mean, I've heard them say there may be some coaching changes at Auburn this summer. I mean, next in the off season. The defense played great the other day.
Defense.
I hadn't got a whole lot to complain about with defense. There's still some things, but I could complain about a lot of teams about some stuff.
Mark Bailey, he went to the game.
Yeah.
And, 227 yards. They held Vandy to 227. Vandy gained 418 against Bama.
He was at the game. He said that he was getting booed. This is a fan, guys. You can, and I'm a fan of kids. When I'm a fan of the game, I'm just being honest. I think there's a developmental problem there because historically there has been, and there's no first round picks there. I mean, there's nothing to show that I'm wrong. I mean, I can't say if I'm right. I'm just guessing that it seems like if you don't have first round picks coming out like receivers and DBs and stuff like at least every other year, and I know why, because they ain't been able to recruit because Harsin was terrible. Obviously, he's got a better record than Freeze. They fired Harsin with this record.
9-12.
Fired him.
Yeah.
But Freeze is going to get to hang around because he's got a good recruiting class. How good is a recruiting class if they're not developed? How good do you think this Auburn? Well, by God, we're going to have number 5 recruiting. How great is that going to be? But these kids are going to come in as freshmen. They're just going to walk up here in the SEC and they're going to have a number 5 recruit class. And by God, they're just going to start owning the field. We're going to go to the SEC. We're winning 9 games next year. By God, don't tell me we can't win with freshmen.
Right.
How? You got to develop them. This is not high school football. You're not playing wherever it is you're from Maryland to Virginia to Texas or Georgia. You got to develop these players.
Let me ask you something. Do you think he's coaching them like he did Liberty? What I mean by that is he coached at Ole Miss. He did well at Ole Miss.
But that's 15 years ago.
He did good at Liberty.
Times
he's not doing well at all.
Have changed, I think.
And I really thought he would. Did you not think he would?
No.
You did not?
No, I'm not a fan. He does good with good players. Mm-hmm. How good was Gus with Cam? Who couldn't been good with Cam? He's a once-in-a-lifetime athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. He's like a Tim Tebow. Cam Newton, right. You don't have to really coach that guy. You just tell him, go score the ball. Mm-hmm. Here's a package we're going to run. Kind of run it however you feel like it. If you want to hand it off, read the end. If you don't, throw it to the guy up on the slot.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Cam's great.
Oh, he was.
One of the best college quarterbacks. He's one of the best in the SEC.
Yeah.
They're not developing the players because I see that example. I just give you that play. Cam didn't block the guy, and it didn't happen just once. Now, on another play, Auburn fans, Ben, you was there. Do you remember the play that Peyton run a pitch? And when that end crashes, of course, we got to wait. But there's a technique and a way to sell as a quarterback on an option play. After you take the snap, you got to – and I learned – you may tell you who I learned this from?
Who?
What I'm fixing to tell you. Kilgrove.
Mm-hmm.
John Kilgrove's one of the – he was a good athlete here in this county. And I watched him coach our kid, tailbacks over here with Pee Wee football. And we had from –
yeah, he coached 5th and 6th, right? Yeah. 18. Yeah.
And we had a lot of good athletes come through there. Sean Fodwith from Kendrick Fifes to Slade Alexander's.
Right.
We had plenty of good.
Tom Brady, yeah.
So it's the step. When you make that first step, you got to step to the end to bring him out.
Mm-hmm.
To get him to bite in enough. It's kind of like reeling. You can't, as soon as you feel a nibble, you can't jerk it. You jerk the hook out of their mouth. You got to wait. He didn't wait, and then he pitches it kind of early. And then the guards, same thing, man. They're missing those ends. They're not sealing off the end. You got receivers not blocking. Mm-hmm. And when he gets out there in these places, it's like 3rd and 4, and it was a good play call, but they're not running the play right. And I heard him say that a few weeks ago. Well, we're teaching it to them, but pretty much kind of Freeze just kind of said, we're giving them the right plays. They're just not executing it.
Well, now, Bo Wallace says he's notorious for that.
They're not executing the plays right. So
why wouldn't they do that?
Because they don't know the plays. And it's year 2. I think Freeze got in and thought this is going to be great. And mm-hmm. I think some of it is, honestly, it's way worse down there than you think it is.
You think he's checked out a little bit?
Yes. It's bad. A lot of those seniors don't know how to win. And some of the seniors, though, guys like see, what did I say a while ago? That Maua Jr. guy and Riddick. Riddick is one of the freshman linebackers. He had 5 tackles in every game. Riddick's a good football player. He's a freshman kid.
They've done pretty well on defense lately.
They have a few freshmen, but I just don't want to hear this, and we'll move on. I'm tired of hearing from Alabama fans, Auburn, stop saying we're just young. And I'm susceptible to saying that sometimes too. Sometimes, though, you just got to, it is what it is. Makumba's come in there, played at Clay Chalk. He's a freshman. He's 18 years old, and he's just got baptized because
he does pretty well.
Alabama's had some guys out hurt. They have 5 freshmen on the field at one time in the defense. It just is what it is. You got to grow up sometimes. Stop making excuses for them because I know Makumba and Zay Mincy and them, these guys are 5-star players.
Yeah.
We're not talking about some 2-star guy that played up there at West Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
So I guess you're going to have to get some coaches at Auburn that can start developing their players because I hadn't seen it in a long time.
He may have to get a new staff. He may have.
I think he
may
needs
have brought in the wrong staff, and I think
don't-
he'll be gone after next year if it
I
don't
don't-
improve.
There's no way. I don't see how he can keep his job.
I don't think they'll get rid of him.
How do you
next
get like Cam? Has got one catch for 9 yards.
year.
Now I know early in the year they throw in the ball and he dropped some passes and he hit him in the hands. It went up in the air and they got a pick off of it. Some of those weird things that happen just happen.
I think he's caught 16 this year,
You know.
but not for a lot of them.
So can Auburn win any of these last three? A&M, the Warhawks, or Bama?
I think they go 4-8 at worst.
Can they win one of those three?
I think it could go either way. I think it's a toss-up. They need to win that A&M. I don't think they'll beat Alabama because it's in Tuscaloosa. Their defense is playing well.
Yeah.
And that could be a factor in the A&M game. 5-7 at best. But, no, deep down, no. I don't think they win either one of them. I think they go 4-8.
Yeah.
I think they beat – who'd you say the other team they played was?
A&M, Monroe, and Bama.
Yeah, they beat Monroe.
I think.
Well, let me go on and tell you this. If they don't beat Monroe, they'll fire Freeze.
God, I'd hope so. I'm just not a fan.
And I think his job will be safe if he goes 4-8 for one more year. If he goes 5-7, he's fine. If he goes 6-6, obviously he's going to be fine. But if he goes 3-9, I look for him to be gone.
If he don't win 8 games next
He
year,
might not even be their coach the last game against Alabama if they lose to Monroe, which I don't think they will.
Well, how important is it to keep that class? That's what they're doing because they've paid a lot of these kids. A lot of these kids get paid just to show up and say, "Hey, we're here this weekend."
I know a lot of people probably don't like what I'm fixing to say, and like you said, we'll move on. He could have hired people to do it. I don't think that Williams was a bad figurehead.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. I've heard people on Twitter say, get Cadillac.
I mean, I know there was some scandalous stuff going on.
I know, but how much of that, I don't know if it's true or not.
We don't have no idea.
But I do know this. I know college football is a dirty, rotten business. And it just seems kind of weird that just kind of mysteriously popped up right when Freeze is coming.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really?
It's like we're going to take care of it now.
Because he didn't want him around because he's a threat to his job.
Don't think
he was
1 second that people don't get him and Etheridge gone.
He stepped up. Cadillac stepped up in a big way. That place was rocking when he's an intern and the place was packed.
Yeah.
And
Alabama good, and that wasn't a very good team either.
Hats off to Cadillac keeping that game. Play the game close because he had them believing like they could win.
He did.
Freeze has got these guys in a mode of like, well, it's your fault and you're not learning the plays and I'm giving you the right plays. You're just not running them right. Yeah. He's just browbeat mentality. I've seen the way he talks to
them
Thorne. Was it Missouri? I think it was Missouri. Yes, it was the Missouri game. I'm watching him because the camera's showing Hugh come to on the field and it's showing back a Thorne. He takes his headset off and he's like, "What are you doing? Are you stupid?" I mean, he's just
browbeating. He could be browbeating them to where they don't want to play for the guy.
Well, they're not winning and nobody wants to play to losing.
Let me tell you something. Everybody thinks he's great. And he was great.
I've never liked him. Never at Ole Miss. I don't think he's that good a coach. I think he's had good players. I need to see development. Develop this guy into. You had a quarterback and you could have went and gotten one, but he decided not to. So take this guy that you have.
That's what's hurting him.
What is Thorne good at? He wants to be ish because everybody that's been around him, he's very self-absorbed about some stuff. Obviously, he's hard-headed. Yeah, obviously, he's hard-headed. If this
kid think it's like, by gosh, I'm going to develop Thorne.
He's going to run my offense where I'll bust hell wide open, but he can't do. That's not his style. So won't you just do what he's good at and get through this year, win 6-7 games? But no, he wants to push his playbook on him. And now you lost a bunch of games.
Yeah. Look, players will lay down on the coach, and I don't care what nobody says. And yes, he was great, but there towards the end of his career at Indiana, Bobby Knight, who was famous for chewing kids out,
kids
didn't want to play for him towards the end of his career.
You got sick of hearing it.
got sick of it. They didn't like him. I don't care what nobody said. Somebody's on here going, yeah, well, you're one to talk. You're going to really say something about Bobby Knight. Those kids didn't want to play for him no more.
Yeah,
And it could be what's going on with
they got
Freeze.
49 freshmen on the roster at Auburn. Thank you, Mark.
Matt, you said you
Next
told me to
week.
move on.
Yeah, Florida Gators 34-20 against the Dogs. I think if DJ don't go out, I just ain't afraid to say that Florida could have beat them.
Could have beat him.
I know.
Beck's
I'm not
just
afraid to say
not
that.
playing well.
He's terrible.
11 interceptions. Not yesterday.
3 picks.
He threw for a bunch of yards.
300
He threw 3
yards.
picks. And the Georgia fans are not happy with him.
Thank God for Frazier.
Yeah, he had a good game.
Had 82 yards.
400. They still gained the yards. 457. But Bobo, come hell or high water. Excuse my language. He's throwing that football.
Not a fan. Let me get on the Bobo train and get off real quick. Not a fan.
He is throwing that football.
Freeze and Bobo could go ride out on a ship and go to Madagascar for all I care. And it's not personal. I don't personally know him. I don't like how they call the game. I'm not a fan.
He can't be real happy with it.
I'm not a fan. Tell me,
He cannot.
why would I be a fan of Freeze or Bobo? Show me where Georgia's defense is holding on this game. Auburn defense held them in that game. Freeze is just too dumb to run the right play and take chances on 4th downs to try to score 7 points.
Yeah.
And Georgia comes in here and, they wind up holding Florida to 20 because they wind up with a 3-star quarterback from Winter Park, Florida.
I heard
Come from Yale.
I saw where somebody was like, he can't throw it 20 yards. Come on, guys. He's the 3rd-team quarterback. He's not supposed to ever go in a ball game.
He's a 3-star from Winter Park, Florida. Come from Yale. He's probably just transferring because of his major. He may be majoring in something that they're good at Florida because he's probably coming down there thinking, I'll never get to play.
Let me see how many passes Beck threw yesterday. It was an ungodly amount, I'm sure.
Yeah, about 50. His outfield's 48.
They do that every week.
455 total yards. He had 300 yards of total offense. 3 picks.
3.
3.
And like people were on there going, dude, he just do that right to him. What is he doing?
Florida made it interesting. If Lacey
And
goes,
Judy, who's a huge Auburn fan, Georgia fan, Judy, that we were talking about earlier, she read somewhere that he's got him a woman. I mean, I'm not blaming it on the woman. But,
well, I'm no, you don't. Hey, look, any man on this chat right here will say, I've beat windshields out of cars because of a girl.
yes.
Something stupid, just, something dumb. With my hands, beat
For
windows out
lack
of
of a
cars.
better word, somebody said, well, you add
Money,
women,
there you go.
this to
That's
his
done.
to his resume.
He's gone.
And he's just not playing well. He's going for a lot of yards, but 11 interceptions, which I'm sure leads the conference. I'm pretty much positive.
yeah, absolutely. So I don't.
But
Florida got real lucky.
here's my question: why are they throwing so much?
It's just the style of football. And here's something.
Why?
Well,
I mean, why is he throwing all the time?
and Alabama didn't play this week, but I talked about this morning at the gym with a young man. They're trying to pad these guys to get them to get ready to go pro. That's my opinion. And they're trying to keep. I don't think it's just necessary for Milroe to try to keep him in the Heisman watch.
Yeah, he's out of that.
Because you're not winning games and you're trying to make him stand in the pocket. Either it's Nick Sheridan for it's definitely his fault for the plays they're calling, not running the ball more. Because when they run the ball, it seems to be more successful and they're taking control. Because when you run the ball, the clock runs, and when you throw it and you drop a pass, the clock stops.
Yes.
But in order for running the football to be successful, there's a cliche that goes along with that. Dean, what is the cliche? How do you win championships? You run the ball and
play defense.
Yeah, because you run the ball to run the clock, because you get ahead, because you are ahead because you play good defense. But if you can't play good defense, which Georgia has,
they do play good defense
because Kirby is going to figure it out. Too many stunts and twists. He's going to get you eventually at some time during the night. You're going to get got. Florida got because it was a 3-star quarterback from Winter Park, Florida, bless his heart, got thrown there, and he didn't do terrible for the most part.
I didn't think he did. I don't know. Boy, I
didn't
mean,
think
I
it was
hate to
bad.
know anybody was ripping him.
I mean, Georgia's only got number. There was number
Marcus,
8
I love you,
defense.
but you were ripping him. Marcus Barrington ripping him. Come on, Marcus.
No,
He's the
why?
third team.
You tell him you can't tell that kid he didn't do. He's probably just went when he went down. He went, oh my God, I'm going to have to
And I
play
like
against.
going on with Marcus.
Yeah, I'm going to have to play against the top 10 SEC defense right now. I thought I was going to come in here and play golf and finish my degree. Yeah, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I
Say what you want,
think it's time for Bobo to go.
Birds.
And I didn't agree with you at
I'm-
first, but I think I agree
I'm
with
not,
you now.
not a fan. Never, ever, ever, ever as a player.
Well, I've watched
Don't.
it every game. 40 to 32 on the pass run, 50 to 24 pass run, 55 to 23 pass run. I mean, I'm like, what are you doing?
He's trying to get him ready to go. They're trying to pad
He's
these.
gone for 3,000 yards.
They're pumping him up to try to get him to go pro, and he won't make it. It's fake news.
Mm.
Look at the quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Who's the only one that's really been successful this year to come out last year? Daniels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the
And
system,
Dix is doing pretty good,
he's-
actually.
he's done the system that works for what he's doing.
And
Because
Daniels is doing better than anybody.
the Redskins, they know what they've got. They know that they've got
They got somebody
a sports
special.
car, so
Yeah.
they drive it like a sports car. But you can take a Bo Nix. It's probably more like a '79 Mustang. It's a good car, hot rod car,
And Peyton's his coach.
but it's not gonna outrun the Lamborghini. But it's still nice, and it can still win you some races. Yeah. Now Pitt, tell me what happened to Pitt. I know they're
They
hosting.
just got drilled.
Their quarterback went out. Okay,
That don't help.
and they're the guy that come in.
SMU's very good. too.
Yarmail went up throwing for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. SMU scored 48.
Was is it possible that SMU's just good? I mean, I know they're right there on the teetering line. They're number 12.
Well, they had
No, they're number 13.
a 160 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Smith, their tailback, in which I've used him on the game. SMU's got a good team, like to play on the video game on Xbox.
Yeah, they
It's
do.
just it got away from them there late. I think it's just hosting. When your quarterback goes out, same thing with Florida. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think nobody's on Napier today
No, I wouldn't think so.
because you're third team. Matt Ole Miss, wow. Jackson Dart, 515 yards, 700 yards of offense. Jordan Watkins, who had caught 17 passes this year, catches 8 for 254, taking Trey Harris's place.
Not surprised.
Arkansas still had 500 yards, but it didn't matter. 63 to 31. What do you think about that? Did you watch any of that?
Yes, I watched most of that game.
So that was just a beatdown, was it not?
Yes.
Well, and I will say this: Arkansas's quarterback went out.
Narduzzi. That's what I was trying to think of. Sorry, Pitt's head coach.
Yeah, Narduzzi. He's done a good job. Of it.
Yeah, he has. The game got away late from them, and Arkansas, and their fans. I watched Hog Talk. They got a guy that does a podcast. He's at the game, and he does interviews with the coach after the game. It's like Hog Nation or something. I watched some of his podcast this morning. They're pissed.
Really?
Yeah, they want Pittman gone.
You got to be kidding.
There's some people out there in that world. They are really upset. They are sick of losing these games to like Ole Miss and just getting. It's not just losing; it's just getting smoked.
Yeah, no, that was a smoke show. Yeah,
But Dart breaks the school record, most passing yards in a
Most
game, 6 touchdowns. But
515.
that's
yards.
his style.
It is. He's more of a
He is. But there was opportunities for Arkansas to score later in the game, and
I like Pittman. I just don't. I don't know. Well, what they're saying is he's not doing a good job recruiting.
well, Paterno's going to do. I mean, Bobby Petrino, or
Yeah,
he's a good play caller. Obviously, he's kept them in a lot of these games.
yeah.
I still think, even though Arkansas and what happened they did with Tennessee and however that goes, and we'll talk about Tennessee.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's ridiculous. So they still have trouble up front. You still win games from the inside out.
Mhm.
It's just how it is. So I think Arkansas struggles are real, and that's going to continue to happen for them.
Well, what do you think about the Vols? Nico 292,
Bro.
Sampson 142. They had 478, but was it just me or did Kentucky nearly won this ball game?
It felt like the whole time without Sampson
Sampson's good.
running for over 140. He helped set the tempo in times of parts of the game when Nico, where he was soft, Sampson was strong.
Now, I did not watch this as closely as I did. I watched the second half, but Nico had good numbers, and that's 2 games in a row he's had good numbers against Alabama and Kentucky.
But when you go look at the box scores, man, there's something wrong. It can't be he's hurt. It's like he's stoned or something. Like he comes in because he just can't get it together.
Right.
And it can't be play calling because I think Heupel is one of the better play callers around him, and
Well, they're definitely a second half team. There's no doubt about that.
Riley and Kiffin, and those guys are known to be good play callers. Kelly, Chip up at Ohio State, those are teams known for having good play callers. So,
yes. Well, Tennessee's running the ball. I don't know.
Their defense holds them in games. 28-18,
Sampson's probably the best back in the conference. I don't know. Every time I look at Tennessee's box score, a different receiver has led them in receiving. Now, some say, well, that's good. They've got several. Could that be a problem? Nico I don't think he has a good connection with the receivers. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he's just not. There's something's wrong, man.
Not a great connection.
I don't know. I can't. It's like Auburn. I got a good idea. Auburn. I think it's the coach. He's just.
There's a lot of overthrows.
Hugh Freeze is out of date. He's like getting the old. Remember Pepsi Clear?
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze is Pepsi Clear. It's just it was kind of fun when you had it, but
yeah,
Hugh Freeze is Pepsi Clear, and that's just my opinion.
Did Nico have good? I know he threw for 292. I think he's getting better, but against Alabama, they said he missed. Which I watched the game. He missed 2. They could have made Alabama worse.
3 or 4 deep balls.
I think there's a disconnect there for whatever reason. I don't think it's because they dislike each other between Nico and the receivers.
Well,
not on a regular basis, but some of the time.
Yeah, like throwing those later in the game passes like Fairweather, just the guy knocks it out of his hand, and at the end of the game, guy just rips it out of his hand. You got to have players at some point.
Yeah,
you can't blame the coaches all the time. Sometimes you just got to have players step up and make plays, and they just didn't.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Tennessee did make a play there late, but I think it's just the back of Sampson and their defense holding them on because we know their defensive ends, just like at South Carolina.
Oh, you got Pierce.
They're good, man. They're tough.
Some says he was offsides. I even thought he might have
It's
been
absolutely
offside.
offside.
But he called. He won the game from.
That's BS. Alabama on third down can't get an offside call. Didn't even think about blowing a whistle.
No.
You watch the guy run offsides. He's way offside. Even the guy in the booth, he should have called down and said, "Y'all got to stop the game. You can't."
What are you doing?
Like we see the guy, he's holding Williams every time he runs up the sideline for a reception. You can see him pulling his jersey. They're not going to call it.
Yeah.
And Tennessee didn't need much setup because it's going to be a good game anyway.
It was going to be.
But,
yeah, and that Alabama might not even have got the first. We don't know.
I don't know.
You still make that call.
Yeah. So I think Tennessee's just hanging on and got lucky a lot.
I think they lose another game.
They're
and
probably.
I don't think. And Logan, please don't be mad.
I think they're. I'll say it. He can too. He's not stupid.
I don't think
he's
they
a fan.
make a dent in the playoff.
No, and he's
First round.
You can be a fan, but he knows too that realistically, they've been lucky to be in some of these. And sometimes luck is better than being good, and that's true. And it does take luck to win some games. But
can they play? Well, no.
I just don't. I don't think
you
can't jump. You can't play. At some point, Tennessee and Georgia are kind of the same in one. They start slow, and their defense keeps them in the game.
Now, when is that game? That's going to be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably in a couple of weeks.
Who play? It's Ole Miss and Georgia play this week.
Ole Miss and Georgia play this
probably
week.
The next week.
Matt, let me go over one more game, and we know all the scores and everything. I thought Ohio State. That's a big win. Their defense played very good.
Penn State's not real good.
I thought Penn State was better this year, but they stopped Aller. Drew Aller, 146 yards.
You play overtime with USC. USC's a trash pile.
Boy, they lost again. God.
See, that's on. You're playing. I don't
lost
care.
5 now.
I don't care if you did travel out. I just don't think Franklin's just not it. He's just he's. I was gonna say he's about like Hugh Freeze. He can't win the big game, but Freeze can't even win, but
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 games. I mean, he's won like 8 games in 2 years.
Judkins had 95. That was about the best stat. Howard in modest numbers, 350. Nick Buka, 3 for 33. Jeremiah Smith, who's a freshman, 4 for 63. Judkins had 95. They did rush for 100.
They say there are 1 or 2 things.
Yards.
Either college football is everybody's great,
Yeah.
or you're on my team. You think everybody's just very average. I just think everybody's
I've
average.
heard that's the second time today I've heard somebody say, yeah, I just don't know if anybody's fantastic. Maybe Oregon. Maybe.
They got speed.
Boy, they got a lot of speed.
That's what, dude. Well, Matt, that was back first of the year. You do remember? Hang on, people. You do remember? Type in Boise State versus Oregon. You do know that they had to kick a field goal to beat Boise State,
And they barely beat Idaho.
guys. You can't get up for that. Well, okay, that's fine. Just whatever helps you cope and feel better with yourself. If you're an Oregon fan, I'm sure we got many watching. Oregon fans all over the place.
Like, I hate them throwing stuff at the TV.
Some guy from down there in Walker
Portland.
County, Georgia, somewhere in South Georgia. I love the Ducks. Get off here, idiot. You clown.
Well, and I'm not going to get on the SEC binge, but 2 of the 4 top receivers for Oregon, one's from Alabama, one's from A&M.
Yeah.
Evan Stewart, A&M, Trayshawn Holden, who had a huge day yesterday. Best game he's ever had.
Mhm.
Now, their best receiver is Tez Johnson.
Yeah.
And that tight end, that big tight end.
Yes.
But their other 2 receivers are SEC players. What I'm talking about? Speed.
That's what
Speed.
wins, man.
Yeah.
Go look at high school football, however you want to cut it down the middle, sideways, or whatever you want to make out of it.
That's why I'm not real high on. And again, I'm not knocking the teams, but West Alabama teams are just not traditionally fast.
No, just
West,
what it is.
Northwest. Now you get Southwest. I mean, you got Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Those
really
South teams are there's a different speed. Iowa State takes the L from Texas Tech 23-22. I did watch the last 10 minutes or so of the game. Texas Tech quarterback Morton 21 for 40.
It's not
237 with 2 touchdowns. Iowa State QB B-E-C-H-T.
best.
23 for 39. 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. 432 total yards for the Cyclones that are undefeated no more. And as you can see, that kind of pulled down all the rankings and started dropping teams around here there.
Yeah.
Well,
So Kansas State. Yeah.
That was a good – I like good games, and –
it was a good game. Texas Tech upset you in about 2 seconds.
they had just one play, man. He threw the ball up the sideline, and some old tall white tight end, makes the catch of his life and
That
gets
tight
them,
end for Penn State's good.
and makes a play of his life and gets them down in range, and they score the darn ball. I think they run a little play action, dumped it over top like a little Tebow pass or something. Exciting game. I mean, that's the kind of stuff. And the coach at the end, he's emotional. He's just teary-eyed. I love my guys and how hard of work practice they put in this week, and I love them. Thank you to them and the fans, and it was a good game. That's what's still great about college football. And lastly, college-wise, Liberty takes one on the chin, 31-21 loss. Stewart goes wild, 230-some plus rushing yards for him.
He went wild.
They ripped up Liberty pretty good. And Liberty has some players. They're not a pushover team, so this puts Jacksonville State head of the conference, and
they're definitely not
our alma mater, JSU.
Just a second here, Matt. Just before we get done here, just real quick, we got to make picks.
SEC has released
We went 4-3 this week. We had a tough week. 4-3, both of us.
For fake injuries. First fake injury, head coach fined $50,000. Second,
Wow.
head coach $100,000. Third, head coach suspended. 3 fake injuries, they're going to start
That
suspending
changed it
coaches.
completely. They say Kiffin does it on purpose. We
Yeah,
don't have
absolutely.
no idea, but they say it.
No, man. I'm not stupid. I see coaches last year I seen the Auburn coaches telling the guys they're on the sideline doing this. They're pointing them, get down, get down.
I tell you what, they're the coaches are doing the stuff because there's not a rule about it, but they're making the NCAA is going, we got to stop this.
Yeah, and it's not, and I'm not just picking on them. Alabama did this year. One of the coaches was
Yeah,
they had too many men on the field, so when he run off, he's like, just go down. So he just
So it's
falls
over.
down.
that's over.
He just falls down, and you can tell when a guy's. But there's still going to be some situations that's still hard to tell if a
There's
kid's
just
hurt.
one more they need to change, and that'll be the targeting.
Now stop throwing them out. Period. Just stop.
You know what?
throwing them out.
I'm about sick of seeing it. I don't even want to see the penalty anymore.
Just stop throwing them out.
I'd say stop throwing the flag.
The railroad was
That cannot be controlled.
well, no, but when the tailback's running through the hole and here comes the linebacker coming downhill and the running back lowers his head into the defender, they're throwing the defensive guy out. You have killed football. You're killing football. You're destroying the game at its local impressive intent. When the guys played like Scooter with no face mask and leather helmets, they actually literally was encouraged to forearm guys in the face to break their noses. That's gone away.
Let's go.
Guys, God dang it. You can't throw out a defender and keep rewarding this offense. It's already bad enough Alabama had 2 times a defender does this. Roughing the passer, first down, 15-yard penalty. He literally he's swatting at the ball and his hands rake the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
And some of this bumping into the punter. Yeah, if you go
And-
back there and okay, look, it's human nature.
It's just
We
we
do
gotta
it.
stop
He
doing that.
does it. I do it. Everybody we know does it. And referees do it too. We go overboard with stuff.
Stop. Just stop throwing them out.
And the referees are going overboard with these penalties,
Alabama,
especially this hands to the face.
that's stupid.
And
was
that
it-
should be reviewed.
was
and
it-
they should be, you know what? That wasn't the right call. Flag picked up.
Was the Tennessee game where the Alabama kicker got roughed and he did not even touch him?
South Carolina.
Was it that game?
Oh, good. It wasn't even close.
The kicker even put his
Now
foot
we're
up.
talking about Alabama, did they? They won that game by 2 points.
The defender kind of tucked and rolled, and the kicker Alabama his legs up in there, and as the defender's rolling, he picked his foot up over him and went, and he never even touched him. And as his foot come down, he fell. They threw.
Now Alabama did not score; they had to punt, so it did not make a difference in the game, but
No.
it could have.
Yeah, that's a bad call.
And some people could say, "Well, yeah, it did make a difference in the game because Alabama punted, South Carolina. That's another minute or 2 minutes they could have had to come back and win the game." So you possibly cost South Carolina the ball game
Could have.
because a punter faked. I don't even know if he faked.
He just picked his foot up, and the guy rolled under. That's the ref. Ref's got to make the call, right or wrong, and it's wrong. The refs are terrible, terrible, terrible. There's nobody being held accountable for nothing. If they do a bad call, he gets his $1,000 for the weekend.
I will say this about James Pierce in Tennessee. I'd rather a ref not make a call than make a stupid one.
There's no accountability. What we need to do, I've heard some podcasters say this, and we'll go on to next week's
Yeah,
games
we'll
and look
pick
at some of
these right
them.
quick.
And I'll be on Thursday, and I'll dig into 2 or 3 of them deeply. We need to have one central reffing entity board.
Yeah.
One person, take one of the old refs, whoever you want it to be, and let him be over it. The nation.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gene Costata, that's from New York, that's, he's not going to be calling the Buffalo team from college team up there playing, Iowa Central.
Right.
You're going to be on a committee, and we're going to draw these names, and you'll get to stay up there around your area somewhat. I mean, we're not going to make Gene Stefani come call a A&M and Texas game.
Yeah. When
You're
you
gonna
live
have
in
to-
Oregon.
Yeah, we're not going to make you drive from Gene Stefani from New York, some Italian guy, show up in South Texas at a football. It's first down over here. The guy's catching the ball. He tipped it up in the air. Oh, forget about it.
Yeah.
We don't have to have that guy at
Yeah.
a Texas game. There has to be. We've got to just put it. It's bad.
Yeah, it is.
Claws are bad. High school is bless their heart. Some of them are just trying to do their best, and But the college guys are the ones I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about high school. These are just regular working guys that just make some extra bucks on Friday night, and they try to maybe
These college
influence.
guys are making a lot.
Try to influence the kid positively in their life somewhere. The high
And there's
school
some of
guys.
it's good now. They don't make bad calls. All right, next week, Matt.
Man.
Florida at Texas, 11 o'clock. Who you picking? Anyway, Florida pulls this upset.
No,
Not without their quarterbacks. I
No.
agree.
no, not this week.
This is a big game.
Week
guys.
is this week 11 picks?
I've got 9.
Week 11.
Oh, yes, week 11.
Yes, week
Thought
11
you meant
picks.
11 games.
Yeah. Hey, if you like it, pick some of these games with us and subscribe to the channel. And podcast listeners, we thank y'all too.
Miami at Tech. Georgia Tech, 11 o'clock.
No.
What do you think?
Mm-mm.
I don't either. I think Miami's too good. And they're running away with games. late.
Miami plays for the national championship this year. I said it right here. I've been telling you that for how long?
No, we didn't pick Purdue over Ohio State.
How long I've been telling you, Miami?
A while.
I'm telling you, man, there's just something weird about this team. They just freaking figure out a way to win.
Both those are 11. Purdue plays Ohio State at 11.
No. Wait a minute. What ranks Ohio State?
They're 3.
Oh, now if they were 1, you know what happens? Guys, look it up. Statistically speaking, when Purdue plays a number 1 at Purdue, they beat they're the most highly statistical team to beat a number 1 team. It's crazy.
Yeah, you told me that.
It's crazy.
Number 1.
It's like 54%. You got a 54% chance of losing at Purdue if you're number 1.
Wow. Now, none of those first 3 games are great, but 2:30 it starts heating up. Clemson at Virginia Tech, which I think is a great matchup. Does Clemson rebound after that big loss to Louisville? Virginia Tech lost up to Syracuse, but we know Virginia Tech's good. I think Clemson rebounds.
Where's it at?
It's at Virginia Tech. It's at Blacksburg.
Night game?
No, 2:30.
Give me Clemson.
Okay.
Fighting Sweeney's.
2:30 also, Georgia at the Grove. Ole Miss. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to take Ole Miss. But you know what Georgia did when they went to Texas? Just dominated them. And Ole Miss is not very good on defense. And Georgia can put up some yards.
Yeah.
Might change that.
But you know what? What's the best quarter?
Georgia.
What's the best quarterback Georgia saw?
So far, it'd probably be
Ewers.
Milroe.
They lost to Milroe.
They lost to Milroe.
And they held
But
Ewers at Texas is,
he's
he's a first round guy. But he got so bad they pulled him out of the game.
pulled him out. So you say Georgia.
Yeah, I don't know. Ole Miss is built inside out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure.
Georgia's good on defense too.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if now I know I said that in reverse, so let me say it forward. What's the best quarterback Ole Miss defense has seen? You see what I'm getting at?
Nussmeier.
Yeah. So
Who's probably better than Beck or playing better than Beck right now. So
here's the thing, and we'll move. I'll get into that one Tuesday deeply, but he goes in and throws 3 or 4 picks.
Yeah, he can't.
Ole Miss can score the ball.
Yeah.
That could cost. This will finally be the week
I agree with you.
Beck gets his back broke.
If he throws 2 interceptions,
3 picks,
they're not going to be.
I don't see it being like this week.
No.
Florida. You throw 3 picks against Ole Miss and Dart is healthy and plays, you're beat.
You're out of
Georgia,
the playoffs,
you're done.
Or you may be, but you're going to be a
Georgia, you're
11
done.
seed.
Done.
This next game's great. I already know who I'm taking. Colorado at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
3 o'clock. That is a good matchup.
Where's it at?
It's at Texas Tech.
Ooh.
I think they beat them. I mean, I think Colorado's good, but I think Texas Tech's a spoiler.
I think it's too emotional. I'm gonna go with Dion.
Okay.
They're still fired up from from beating an undefeated Iowa State.
I know people's like, y'all crazy. That ain't a big game. That's a good matchup. It may not
is.
be a big game.
Right?
It's a good
They don't
matchup.
have to be ranked. You can still they're still good matchups.
And here's a fantastic matchup. South Carolina at Vandy. I think the Vandy train ends this week. I think South Carolina beats them. What do you think?
that the same names I just told you a while ago, Kennard and Fortune, 5 and 3. That
Okay.
they're just good. I think they're still probably fired up. If there's a little lag left over, and Rocket still got party in his system after that big win against A&M.
136 yards. Jeez.
If he rushes for 200, they definitely beat Vandy. But being at Vandy, guys, if you can't score, if you ain't got the ball.
Yeah, exactly. South Carolina's pretty salty on defense. So
They are. I like how they play their ends. I think they can bottle up Vandy.
I like the new word, salty. And I'm going to go to the 8th game first before I do the last one. BYU at Utah.
Jeff likes Vandy.
I think Utah beats BYU. I think BYU is finally going to lose a ball game.
Who?
BYU at Utah.
Cam ain't. I ain't picking them.
So
I'll
you
go
want
beat.
BYU.
Yeah, I don't.
All right. I went with Utah. And the very last one, obviously, Bama at LSU, 6:30. Now, before I get to Matt, I'm picking Alabama because I don't think LSU has a great defense, and I don't think they have a great running game. And people like, well, Nussmeier picked them apart. Well, he's going to have to do it all night. So I'm going to go with Bama. But it's a tough place to play.
I'll go the opposite side of the ball. LSU, if they think they had a hard time covering homeboy from A&M,
Reed.
wait till you try to stop Milroe. I just don't. I just don't see them.
I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I don't see them defensively being able to keep a handle on him.
They still, and they were bad on defense last year. They've still got a few issues on defense.
And Lawson and Campbell up front are big trouble for them. And also, Bama has moved some defensive guys around. So you're going to see some different names in different places in the D-backs rooms. I think Mincy, they're going to move him around to safety to help Malachi back there on these cover 2 highs.
Yeah.
They've picked these guys out at practice. So Bama fans, don't be surprised when you see some new faces in different places.
Well, that's a pretty good lineup for Saturday ball.
Still a lot of freshmen playing Alabama. So fans, be realistic, have some common sense, and just enjoy watching your team. And what makes me mad as a fan of the game, stop dancing when you're behind. I don't mind a little spin the ball or something, or whatever. And 2, as people ask me about coaching or helping, whatever. If I see one more player with 2 mouthpieces, I'm going to write a letter to some Greg Sankey. You're getting a letter from me because I got one of the guys at A&M had 2 mouthpieces. I don't.
Yeah.
I guess it's just a sign of me getting old.
Right. Yeah.
I can't take it. I can't do it. Why? That has nothing to do with the game. That just kills me, bro. I'm telling you, it fires me up. Stop throwing out kids on targeting and stop wearing 2 mouthpieces. It's ignorant. It just looks dumb. It looks like you don't care about – you're not a good teammate and you don't care about the game. So that's my 2 gripes for the day. What's your gripes for the day?
Team's not finishing. And, I'm not there, so I don't know. But it just seems like it's more and more high. I keep hearing about these teams. Yeah, we lost. Well, that's too bad. Yeah, we had a 24-point lead. What? Okay, kids, if you're listening, don't let off the gas.
Yeah, keep playing.
Keep playing.
Yeah, don't go and snooze.
Why? Basketball does it too. Football, it goes on everywhere. And people say, well, that's always going on. Not in the 80s, by gosh. And Nick Saban didn't have many teams that went on snooze when they were up.
No, that's why he went crazy because he knew
that
that kind of stuff's going to creep in. Well, why did he go nuts at Notre Dame game? They're up 7 touchdowns. That's why, because he's trying to keep them ready for next year.
Yeah,
don't go to sleep.
That's
You're
my main
up
complaint
40
in sports altogether. It's exactly what Mark's not Barksdale. Ragsdale said, "Pride cometh before destruction." Quit thinking you've got the game.
Don't trade
Stop.
Don't trade your passion for glory.
Just
Ain't that in the song?
yeah.
Huh?
Okay, it's 56-28. We don't have to do nothing. Stop it. I'm sorry. Go up to 63-28. Get an interception on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, God, it just drives me crazy.
Guys, that's our gripes for the week.
Okay.
We got our picks for the week. Jeff's quitters never win and winners never quit, says Barry Bryant. Yep. Guys, we thank y'all for coming by and hanging out with Scott late during. We had a lot of people on here. Andrew, glad you came by and shoot the breeze with us for a little while. And I'll come back Tuesday night. We'll go through Bama, LSU, and where's Auburn go this week?
I think they got Monroe. Or they may be off.
I gotta know now.
They was not on the list.
Georgia, it's got
Georgia's got Ole Miss.
yeah, I'm gonna dig into that one very deep.
Well, I'm gonna go home and get me a good bite to eat.
Cereal,
No.
16th. That's next
Got
week.
some salmon fixed.
Wow.
I like salmon.
17th. Let's see. Okay, they play. Yeah, they're off. So Auburn's idle.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got Monroe, A&M, and Bama. It's their office week. Yep, come back Tuesday night about 5. I'll talk about that. We'll talk about Georgia Ole Miss, man. I could break that one down either way.
Yeah. It could possibly be a good game.
LSU, Bama, both sides.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lawson and Campbell, man, it's like you said. Hey, Nuss is good. We like him. I'm a fan of him. But the minimum boys
They just
running.
don't have a great running game.
Well, you got to have play complimentary ball, and that's what's hurting Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
ETN just hadn't. Frazier's good, but it's Bobo. We watched Georgia play Alabama. The first 5 plays of the game, pass, empty backfield,
First
pass, 9.
First 9.
Empty backfield pass plays, trips. All right, y'all have a great week. God bless you, and see you Tuesday night.
Have a good weekend.